The sound of rain is broken by a thump of a foot against wood and a crunch. You hear the of a lock, metal, holding in place just barely. Two figures stand on the porch of a large estate, somewhere just outside of Grandhurst, the last city left in the world. The foot connects with the door once more. There's no crash. The door doesn't open. This estate, large, looming over them, stories tall, and exquisite. Finely wrought. Beautiful craftsmanship. Two men. One older, mid-50s, and one younger, early 20s, barely a whisker on his chin. The one doing the kicking. He turns to the older man. So why are we here again? Just because no one's heard from them? The older man kind of chuckles, pulls out a pipe under the awning of this fine estate, starts to try and light this match against a strip of Brillo. Well, lad, this estate houses one of the most important mines north of Grandhurst, and well, they've never missed a delivery before, so it's a bit odd that nothing showed up this morning. It's important we take a look. And get through that door, would you? Thump! A foot again, this time a crack, as the door begins to open. You don't have to look so worried, lad. This is the only place in the county's never had any ruin before. There's no creepy crawlies waiting for you. Just get through the door. Through this. The light catches. And the man takes the match and pushes it deep into his pipe. Begins to puff at it. And instead of putting the match out, holding that small flame, he begins to walk into the room. A wretch is hurt. The young man sees for the first time across the entryway of this fine estate bodies across the floor. Dozens of people crawling towards this front entrance. Each one missing a chunk of flesh, a neck here, an arm, a leg, little bites. Just the size of a human mouth. The young man pauses, paralyzed in the doorframe, unable to enter. As the older fellow takes a deep breath from his pipe and turns around. Oh, it's your first time, huh? It's a flesh eater here. Or there was. The young man pulls back, scared. He was? The old man says, well, if he was still here, we're already dead. We should tell the families this happened. And we should go. He walks past the young man, retching in the night, grabs him by the scruff of his collar, and begins to drag him down the stairs into the rain. A little trail of smoke coming off of his pipe as they disappear into the darkness. 6 days later, 4 figures stand in the middle of the night, much like the estate. But this time no rain. It's gorgeous. There's not a cloud in the sky, just stars. And the large moon. And the dark, brimming light on the horizon. From a long dead star spewing hatred and malice and anger upon Dramark, the last civilization of humanity in this apocalyptic world. These 4 figures have been brought to a tree. 3 halves of a single tree. Now, from the distance, as they were approaching this odd landmark, this tree looked like it could be real. But once you were close enough, each of you individually saw clearly is not. Who approached first?
I imagine we approach together.
Yeah.
You'd be in front.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you see a early 30s young man, black hair, very neatly coiffed, very humble but impeccably clean servant's attire. Probably with some sort of light source kind of leading the way.
Stumbling behind them. In the night, it sounds a bit like almost like a walking medical bay. There are 3 steps. There is one solid foot, and then led by a wooden like clunk, and then a very light footstep. Every now and again, there is a. You believe it's probably a very old man, but then when looking, they're also mid-30s. Far younger than someone who is hacking this amount of phlegm in their throat. Dressed so exuberantly, so exaggerated is every one of their movements. Unfortunately, slightly scuppered as they shuffle along with this cane, one that they're not yet used to wielding. Well, is this the place?
Yeah, this is where they told us to come. Doesn't seem like a party to me.
Well, very well.
Behind you in the darkness, Vera approaches.
You see trailing not far behind a woman with a very stocky build, dressed in what looks to be workman sort of uniform, and as they approach, they hear the hacking and the coughing in front, and they take a nice big seat on one of the raised roots of the tree. And they say, usually people around here like to dress to kill, but you seem like you're the one dying.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad you're here. You the one who sent us on this escapade?
Well, someone has to make this night fun.
Well, are you sat like around or on the tree? Are you behind us?
Oh, I'm just around the tree.
Just around the tree.
Mm-hmm.
I think like goes to shuffle closer, and then I think like puts a hand on your shoulder to like help.
Yeah,
like,
of course. Yeah,
get
helps
past.
over.
Now that there are people around that Felix knows. Felix is like, okay, fine. Well, I'm not here to be assassinated. Very good.
You wanna sit down?
Yes, actually, I would. Yeah, thank you.
As you sit, Kadai approaches.
It's very quiet. They don't make a lot of noise as they approach. It's kind of, unless you were paying attention, it was probably a bit of a shock as they emerge from what is early evening darkness, right? Yeah, so it's not...
The sun's just setting on the horizon.
It's not fully dark, but they don't make a lot of noise when they walk.
Jesus,
Yeah, just
where
hear
did
a
you
light
come
noise
from?
and turn the light shines directly on you. Ugh. Sorry.
Hello?
I was hoping that you would be our mysterious benefactor, but from the look on your face...
Not this time.
There's a low rumble beneath the two of you, as your seat on the root just begins to vibrate a little bit in an odd manner. And this tree, clearly fake, up close at least, begins to shift slightly. And beneath your feet, your seat actually begins to pull in a sort of circular pattern away from you. And as it pulls away, you realize the space where your feet have been hanging off of this root is opening into a passageway. a stairway, circular, that leads down underneath the tree itself. And coming up out of the ground is an elderly man, 70 years old, gruff, haggard, a gray shirt, suspenders, a little cap. And he comes up out of the ground, looking at you all, counts you off, kind of peering over his own shoulder as your feet sweep over his head. Oh, good. I know we said expediency and promptness was going to be important on this, so I appreciate you all being here. If you don't mind, we've got to go. Are you ready?
Yes.
What's
Not
the
even-
confusion?
Not even time to remark on that hell of an entrance?
Oh, this is a service tunnel.
Huh.
Train system. You know where you're going, right?
To a party. I was
Uh,
under the impression.
Yeah, party, but more, what's at the party. You see, this Astus Willis family estate up north was hit. Everybody was killed by some creature. Rumors say it was called a flesh eater. Whatever that is. Now, this estate has the only clean mine up there. The only place we're getting clean metals. Consistent, right? Now, the problem is, the families all have a vested interest in this mine. And so they all have to agree on who's going to take over. Now, the Astus Willis family, they want to push in Arturo Slimtalk. And we want to help him. He's a good man. He believes the way the mine was being run was right. Slow, procedural, careful, keeping fair folk in jobs, but keeping them alive. That's not enough for the Dara family. They're trying to push this woman, Nicole something. And she's mean. She's a task mistress, they say. And there are rumors she gets fair folk killed on some job she's been pulling. Working them too hard, too long. We need you to get into that vote. Make sure she loses. Make sure Arturo wins. Because whoever's going in there next, well, we want them to be healthy. And we're hoping if they can keep being careful, they can keep the ruin out for a little while longer. It's just getting you in that's the problem. Turns out that Walpole Greens party, having in the nice part of town, is a front. Taking this long, unused train line down to the Grand Interchange. That's where the real party is. I hear the problem is, and security is over at Walpole Green. They're checking all the aristocrats there, assuming there's no way anyone could sneak in. But there's a little bend on this train track, a little place I've known about. I've been serving this in this thing my whole life. And that train's gonna slow down just enough that you four are gonna be able to hop on board.
A moving train.
Oh yeah. You ready for that?
Are
Fuck
you
yeah.
ready for that?
I'll help him.
Okay, fine.
Well, you gotta get in somehow, and couldn't figure out a way to get past your security except for this, so. Come on. And he begins to walk. He turns and just walks down that tunnel again. And you see this door creak open down below. And as he turns towards you all inside that door, he begins to lower himself down to a ladder and just starts to disappear into the darkness.
I think Charlie looks around at all of your bags, and then just, all right, just loads them onto one arm.
Just one, just like the gifts is fine.
okay,
The
great.
rest can stay.
What are you guys doing?
I'll go down right after him.
Vera will get up and offer out a hand to Felix and proceed to manhandle him
It's
through
so-
just under his shoulder.
It's sort of awkward as your feet are now like dangling over this like hole into the ground. You kind of have to like slide your like do a little awkward shuffle down to the edge of the route and then like pull yourself over to the ground. We're able to follow down the stairs.
Yeah, I'm just at the bottom.
And the last person standing as they head down towards the ladder is Kadai.
I'm so grateful that I wore boots today. And Kodai kind of nimbly like vaults over the branch that like opened like very gracefully and pops into the staircase.
As you get to this ladder, you see it truly is just a service tunnel. But the ladder itself is metal. And as you begin to climb down this ladder, much like many of the pieces of metal that you experience in your lives in this world, it is welded over and over and over again, where bits of the ruin have been shaved away and replaced. This is clearly an important service elevator to something. It is difficult to obtain clean metal to use for items like this. And so the fact that someone has been spending the money to maintain this elevator, or this service shaft, means that clearly there is money, influence, and the 5 families behind all of this. As you begin to crawl down into the darkness, rung by rung, there's a moment about halfway down where you can see this tendril of black creeping its way around one side. Not enough to be concerning about your weight or about your ability to get down, but just that reminder of the world around you that's falling apart. You get down to the bottom and your friend is standing there lighting a match, and he puts that lit flame into this small lantern made of a material you're very familiar with that I can't remember. What's it called?
Polyresin.
Polyresin, thank you. A polyresin lantern. Wow, my mind blanked. My name's Tabby. I don't think I've ever met any of you before. Just so you're aware, things can get a little bit dangerous down here, so if you see something, say something. And if you see something, just kick it real hard.
They always say that in train tunnels, huh?
Well, yeah, there's things down here.
Yeah.
I
I
guess
wonder
there's
what
things
sad
everywhere.
souls have to maintain this.
That's my job. That's my. I maintain the. Yeah.
And you do a
Dang.
great job.
Just think I was here randomly, or
Is it just you? Is it
no? There's a lot of people who maintain the trains.
Right.
Train system goes all. It's all a granders. You think I maintain what 60 miles of track all by myself?
How long does it take to walk
Aristocrats.
60 miles?
Well, we're not walking the whole way. No. The train is going to get you to the Grand Interchange. You don't need to worry about walking 60 miles. That's just all of the different directions. And anyway, that's not the point. The point is,
Could do it.
he just like grabs the thing and starts walking. He's like, it doesn't. He's just grumbling as he kind of like walks off into the darkness. And you realize that if you don't start moving and keep up with him, you are going to get lost. Like
Yeah.
it is going to get dark very quickly behind him. And he just kind of grumbles. These fucking aristocrats thinking I can maintain the entire fucking train system by myself. This is why everybody's complaining about the goddamn jobs. Everyone's worked too hard. Aristocrats think we can just do anything.
Charlie, I was trying to compliment them. Did I not give...
You know what?
Walking 60 miles, I feel like, is a lot, and if it is just him maintaining the tunnels, then surely that's good.
Right. There was some mixed signals there for
Right.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. Right, I'll work on that. Let's keep going.
The train tracks themselves are pristine metal. And a lot of it. As you walk down this dark tunnel, keeping inside the light of Tabby's lantern, you see replaced metal over and over and over. Sometimes it looks as new as this morning. This is a place that is used frequently. Or if not frequently, when it is in use, it is of great importance to somebody. Tabby's just sort of slowing down to try and like stay with the group now. His grumbles have sort of worn off.
You do really well upkeeping all this. It's cleaner than any I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, sometimes things gotta move around the city without people seeing them.
Yeah.
What are you doing down here?
Well, I think we're trying to find our way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know. I know. Like, I know that you're. I was more asking like why you're part of this. I know you're all trying to get Arturo elected to that estate. I understand like the mission. I'm a part of that. I just was more. What's your reason? I was just trying to. We got to whack a bit. I was trying to start a conversation.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I just think it would be for the best.
Seems like a good man.
Yeah, I think so too. He looks out for the right folk.
That he does. I mean, hell, he takes over that place. I might go work for him. Get out of these caves.
To work in a mine?
That is a really good point. I would be just trading metal on one side for metal on the other.
You could always take up my profession.
At my age, I don't think so.
That's a good point.
I'm not
Ever think of
exactly
plastics?
polite. What?
Ever think of plastics?
Well, no. Not
No, huh?
really. I just kind of work with metal. I've been laying train tracks since I was... I don't know.
So, I of course know why I'm here. You, I assume. You, I know. You, I can imagine. I've not met you before, though. What are you doing here? I thought this might have been a collection of people who are in the know, so you must be of someone import.
I think that depends on how you define importance. I'm here because I want the same things that you all do.
And I think being behind you at this point, I just glance up at you and giving you like a knowing nod. And then just pretend to be minding my own business.
It is very important that this vote goes a specific way. For all of our futures.
Yeah, as a lot of people have been saying. I mean, there's a lot of people, everyone believes that it's very important for this vote to go a specific way. It's not information, though. How is it that the vote should go?
How? Like towards Arturo, or how towards?
Just for you, what does the vote go a specific way mean? We can talk in riddles all we want, but I thought true folk preferred to speak plainly.
I'm not a true folk.
You're not quite... I feel like I would know if you were.
That only leaves one
my
other
ilk.
option.
Right, so...
More people will die if Nicole is able to run these mines how she is proposing to run them.
That's right.
That's very true. More true than you know.
And I'm sure a wise person somewhere, sometime in the past, said that human lives have meaning. And so, what else can we do at the end of the world but try and preserve that meaning for as long as possible?
In the distance down the tunnel, you hear a... Tabby kind of stops up short. The silence hangs in the air for a moment. And he just kind of... Who knows what that is? Keeps walking. Leading you down.
I think Felix fully stops. Like, everyone else starts moving and Felix, like, refuses to move until Charlie gets in front. And then, Charlie, you feel like a hand on your back as anyone who looks back at Felix is, like, eyes on the ground, is, like, actually very scared of these tunnels right now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm used to this maneuver.
Yeah, and is like knows that Charlie will be able to deal with something if something happens.
Yeah.
It's like me in haunted houses. Oh god.
Yeah, see it. Too scary.
Yeah.
The sound ceases the conversation for a bit. And there's just sort of this tense walking as 5 figures make their way down a straight tunnel. Just endlessly. And there's that period of time in the walking where periods of time cease to make sense. The only thing keeping track of anything is the flicker of the flame in the lantern. And then there's a noise behind you. It's distant, but it's a rumble on the track. As you hear a train far off. And Tabby turns and says, yeah, okay, well, good thing we're almost there. There's a moment where you realize, how could he possibly know? Nothing's changed. You've just been walking in the darkness down a train track. But he seems certain. And about 30 seconds passes, and suddenly the flame of his lantern begins to hit the wall differently ahead of you as the wall begins to turn. And against that wall, you see a dark figure huddled on the ground, gnawing at something. Just ripping meat off this bone. Over and over. And as the light hits it, it turns. And you see a human face. Long teeth dripping down the front of its mouth. Blood dripping off of those teeth onto a bare chest. Tattered, ragged pants on this thing. And as it sees the light, it screams at you, ah! And runs off into the darkness. And there's a moment of fear as you all realize you've just seen some piteous creature affected by the ruin, and it freezes you in place. And Tabby has to snap you back to like, train's coming, come over here. Right. And he pulls you over towards the near wall. You hear just behind you, and suddenly you turn and you can see the beginning of the light at the end of the tunnel. It's getting closer and closer and closer, and the tunnel is getting lit. And he says, okay, it's gonna slow down. Now, I can't speed up again until it gets around this bend here. So what I need you to do is I need you to just, get on board while it's going, as slow as it can. You think you can do that?
We'll have to see how slow it goes.
Not go to the potty, I guess.
Well, and that would be rude.
You do start to hear the squeal of the brake. And the chun. It's still moving. It's still coming, and it begins to pass you, and the wind rushes by you first. You feel that blast of air just being pushed down the tunnel by this immense engine of steam and plastics. The remnants of this world coming through. And it begins to pass you. It starts to slow down. And by the third car, you're like, okay, maybe this is going to be possible. Chun. And then you see to your left, as it begins to pass you, again and again, the lights of the inside flickering in colors of purples and blues and reds and yellows. The end of the train is coming. How are you going to attempt to leap on to this moving vehicle?
Ooh.
I'm gonna scoop up Felix with one arm and lift him slightly off the ground just with a shrug of the shoulder, and then get ready to look on to grab onto something.
Absolutely. What are you two doing?
Yeah, I think I ideally want to try and get on first so that I can then help people up if they need help.
So let's say you start running down the tunnel towards the way the train is coming.
Yeah.
To try and get on before the rest of them. Choose what abilities would you like to use? It's our first roll. So the way that this works in Our Brilliant Ruin is you're going to choose a skill and a personality, and you're going to create a dice pool. So what is your skill and what is your personality that is letting you do this?
So I am trying to time my running to line up with the train properly to make the jump. So I want to say ingenuity plus observe to
Great, love it.
keep an eye on things and know the right time to jump.
Nice.
Great, so what is your dice pool for that then?
So that is 3 dice.
Great, so roll 3 dice.
All right.
One
One
brill.
brill.
One brill. Okay, so you realize that there is a sort of semicircular railing pattern on the back here, and if you leap up, you're going to be able to grab on, and you're probably thin enough in your sort of more svelte and gaunt form.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to squeeze through these bars and pull yourself up. And so you watch the rest of you at the edge of the light, lit mostly by the train. He jumps up and grabs onto this thing and pulls him through really quickly. And as the train begins to get close enough, that chun 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 is still happening. You hear it echoing through every bone in your body as his body begins to pass yours. What are you doing to get him on the train?
I'm going to look for the thickest pipe that I can wrap my hand around and leap and grab it while carrying him.
All right. What is the abilities that you're using for this role?
All right. I would like to use... gosh, what personality for this? I guess audacity and physicality?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So that's a pool of
I
5
think that
dice?
absolutely makes sense.
Yeah. Am I adding the 5 onto anything?
You know what? I will give you take an extra dice as an advantage because
Waiting with a hand.
Charlie is standing there waiting to pull you on.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Oh,
All right. Let's go.
Delicious.
That's 2 6s.
Great. Yeah. So with that success, you leap up and you manage to grab onto the railing for yourself. You're barely dragging Felix with you, but as you leap, Charlie's able to reach out and grab just a sliver of that jacket, and the two of you are able to pull on. The train is passing. Kodai, what are you doing?
Kodai had started running in the same direction as the train.
Great.
To try and not match speed, obviously, but to get closer enough to grab onto the end as it comes by.
Great. I want you to. What role are you doing for your jump?
It kind of makes sense, I think, to do audacity and physicality.
Great.
Would make sense. That is only 2 dice, so I'm going to use a passion.
Great. We're burning our first passion, so add 2 dice to the roll, and 5s and 6s are both considered brills.
Great. Love that. Okay. Nice. I got 2 brills.
Fantastic. You leap out and you grab onto this like last bit of railing that's available to you as Charlie and Vera are trying to pull Felix over the railing onto this train. In the moment of you grabbing on, though, you see in the light ahead of you, there is a dark figure. It is that same form, and he is just staring at this train as it is passing, and he's transfixed, and he catches the sight of you all at the edge of the train, and he sees you jump, and you watch. As you latch on, this form is going to jump out and try and grab you with its claws.
I will kick it,
All right.
I guess, because I've got my feet free.
All right, so choose a skill, and you just get to roll the skill for a resist here.
For a resist.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you're attempting to resist this attack as he's jumping at you as you're jumping on the train.
I mean, I guess it would be fight.
Great,
which
yeah,
is
roll your fight for me.
1.
Great.
3.
You all watch as this piteous, pathetic form, ruined by the ruin itself, leaps out of the darkness and the flickering lights of this train and gashes a claw down Kodai's side, ripping a bit of the jacket. Little blood pooling there as you're going to take a vitality hit.
Thank you.
Is it still latched on?
No, the claw
Oh, okay.
scratches through, and then you watch as its form tumbles on the tracks as it disappears into the darkness with Tabby. And you hear, over the sound of the train, Tabby yell and begin to run back the way that you came. Chun, 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 chun. Suddenly, the train that you're on begins picking up speed again as it straightens out after this bend. And you begin to take off towards who knows where. A party at the end of the line. Music is heard. A little violin and a cello just sort of playing something like a party tune and voices. The din of the party hits you for the first time. The focus on the tracks and the speed of the train. The sound of the train is obviously still there. But in this moment of calm, in this moment of being settled on this train, other senses begin to hit you. The lights have an intentional spinning to them, and the sound of a party ahead of you, and a door with a frosted glass window. Your entrance to the train ahead of you. What would you like to do?
Where? So the door ahead of us has people in it. We're in. I imagine. Are we in like a cargo hold? That we...
You are on like a little patio at the very back of the train.
Like
Very good.
on the caboose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the door Is there a door in? Because I imagine this.
There's a door with a circular frosted glass window on it.
Yeah. I'm gonna try the door before anything.
It's unlocked.
Are there people on the other side? Like, if I was to...
There are shadows moving in the dark. Through the light of this frosted glass window, you see shadows moving, and music playing.
Okay. This is a party which it would be not unusual for me to be in. If anyone asks, you're with my party.
As you turn to look over them, at this group of people dressed for the evening, there's a gash in Kodai's coat.
We
And
should
blood.
really get that patched up a bit.
I take out a flask and just alcohol, sanitize the
Absolutely.
scrape. She hasn't really made like a noise. It's kind of just happened, and it's like, all right. And is trying to see if they have anything on their person to mend the jacket at all.
If not, I think Felix, like, whilst you're looking over, is like, I can probably get someone to fix that, and it would.
I am a valet, so it's probably in my wheelhouse to fix a jacket.
You know what? So valid
Okay,
point.
we're gonna roll to see if you have it on you. So what about your valet skills and personality would make you be prepared enough to have this with you?
Let's see. I'm gonna say decorum and observe. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you have any bandages in all those bags of yours?
Not in the ones that we brought with.
Damn.
Darn.
We did have one,
Once it's there.
but we left that bag behind.
Absolutely. You are very prepared as you pull out this little it's like a little pouch that you kind of hide on the inside of your vest.
Yeah.
Has a variety of things, and there is a little sewing needle and thread. And
Incredible.
as the party is just in full force inside this train carriage, you quickly like open to the inside of the jacket and just throw a few quick stitches in so the jacket holds together.
Yeah.
If they pull the jacket open, they'll see the wound in the shirt
Yeah.
and the blood on the inside, but because of the red coat. From the outside, now it's a decent job. It looks damaged.
It's not my best work, but it'll do.
I appreciate it.
With a few quick stitches, it's not immediately obvious that there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Well, we've taken care of my outfit, but unfortunately,
Why are you looking at me?
it is a party. Is that usually what you wear to parties?
Yeah. Yeah, this is my normal garb. They gotta know what I do.
They're gonna know.
They're okay with it. They've always been okay with it.
This isn't the first party that we've attended. Vera?
Yes.
This isn't the first party that I've attended with Vera. They truly don't change.
I'm
Yeah,
flattered
there'll
you
be
remember.
some faction representatives, probably.
The more exclusive the room, the harder it will be to get Vera in, looking like this. But
No.
general
it'll be
foyer,
fine.
general foyer might be fine. But we'll think of something.
As you say.
The help always, some of them have.
The help.
Yeah, we talked about that. That's not a great one. Yeah.
God, you can't say anything anymore. The people who
That's better.
don't have written invitations sometimes behind the scenes do dress like this, and it is generally fine. And if not, again, come get me. I will handle it.
You're
If
really
anyone-
trying, huh? It's cute.
Yeah.
In which case, then, who are we name dropping? And she like offers a hand as a handshake.
Now, Gelderpark is how you pronounce it.
Sure.
I think so.
Felix Gelderpark. Anyone who knows houses knows that is the hyper opulent, very, very rich people.
Kodai Thames. And like it's like a very like firm shake.
I've not heard your name.
For the best.
Probably not for tonight, though. How old is everyone?
I'm probably like 31, 32.
I'm around like same age, late 20s, early 30s.
Early 30s as well.
I think we're all kind of hitting the same age. We're a bunch of like early to mid 30s. Felix's voice is older than they are. It's like it feels.
Sound of cigarettes.
Yeah, it feels like whatever they're fucking coughing about has aged them a little bit too much. It's why they're wearing this like big bow tie to like cover up. Like as soon as they like move their neck, I think you two would have seen it. You would definitely have seen it before. They have like far more wrinkles like below the neckline than someone who is in their mid 30s would have. And then you would have seen it as you pulled him up.
Right.
Definitely like either aging rapidly or withering in some way. Yes. Say, Lord Gelderpark, Felix, if you need a specific one, because other members of my house
Would
probably
not
be here.
be at this, well, part of this group. It's a name I didn't expect to hear.
People need an entourage. A few months ago, I wouldn't have been expected to be here either, but how the ruin takes us all.
For now.
Okay. Are we ready?
I think so.
Do we need to get that wound seen too?
No.
Yeah, if we find some bandages, I could help you, but
It's sterile. It's fine.
It's not going to bleed through?
It's just a scratch.
Very well. Cracks open the door.
As you do that, you are all suddenly awash in the bright lights of a party already in motion. A crowd of people in every corner of this carriage. There are women in slinky dresses hanging off of men in fine suits. There is a number of people somewhat undressed here at the back of the train. It seems the rowdy crowd has found themselves near this back door. Someone looks up from between a woman's legs at you all. What you guys doing out there?
Just getting some fresh air.
yeah, same as you.
Ah, yeah, I bet you are. As you look in his eyes, you see coppery flakes in the iris. Signs that you would recognize as rust. A new drug the Astis Willow family has developed in their experimentations with the ruin. Exclusive to the naughtier members of the aristocracy who can afford such a thing. For you, true folk and unbonded, this is probably your first experience seeing someone on it. The wide black pupil, the shining, discolored iris around. He just kind of like chuckles at you, uncaring, and goes back to what he was doing. The party ahead of you is filled with people chattering, drinking. Alcohol is flowing from bottles, decanters, whatever form it can. People are pouring straight from fine glass decanters into people's mouths. The concern over the dress previously, a little bit less now, as you see people are a little sloppy back here as they're getting into the mood. But you also know that you are here to influence 5 members, one from each of the major houses, into voting Arturo Slimtalk into control over this estate and the clean metal mine that it presides over. And no one in this carriage at the back is important enough to be one of those people. They're all members of the aristocracy, or young men and women who are perhaps here under jobs, we'll call them. But the people you are looking for and the people you are hoping to persuade are not in this train. What would you like to do?
Shuffle quickly past everyone. These are the rabble. I'm not in the mood for this tonight.
You see like a nephew of yours
I see people that
being
I recognize.
particularly debaucherous,
Yeah.
but as they make eye contact with you, their shirts open, leaning against a wall. There's a woman on either shoulder, and they make eye contact with you, and they are so spaced out on whatever this drug is doing to them that they just don't even notice. They just kind of look you over, just go back into whatever activities they're partaking in.
Quick step, everyone.
Vera lightly nudges the shoulder of Kodai and says, "See, told you I wasn't the worst dressed here."
Well, I will eat my words, as they say.
As you get to the front of the cart, you see in between this train car and the next one, there is a rather large and looming member of the Glove and Key, the guild, standing between the two carts, looking concerned at this final carriage. And as you open the door and begin to pass from whatever this version of the party is into the next, this gentleman kind of looks you over. Felix. Sorry, Lord Galderpark. I'm surprised to see you with the children.
We must all partake sometimes.
Oh.
He's kidding. He just had to use the bathroom. The other ones were taken up.
The bathroom.
Yeah.
Off the back of where?
Exactly.
It is what I think. Sir, there are carriages for that further ahead of the train.
For
Yes,
what
of course.
he ate earlier. Not even.
He just looks, immediately recognizing your station,
Yeah.
looks you up and down. You should know better. Please, sir.
I do not care for the bathrooms you have. I am enough to face the world and piss in its face, and I will not have you question this. Please remember your station for next time I come through.
Yes, of course. That is, yes, of course, sir. It has been a rather trying evening, minding some of my charges. And he just kind of looks through the window, just bleach white at what is happening as he just is presiding over true debauchery. I have been pushed to my limit this evening.
How's the party and the rest of the carriage? Well,
Tense, I believe, if I must be honest, sir. Quite frankly, I'm surprised you got an invitation to this, but it is nice to see some people of standing at such events. I believe your cousin is here, Lady Benelia. No, you would immediately recognize that name. She does not quite have as much standing as you do within the Galderpark family. She's not of the main line, but she, Lady Benelia Galdalane, is important enough that she might be a deciding vote in this. She's also unlikely member of a party like this unless she had a particular reason for being here. And so hearing that name immediately puts you on edge a little bit as you begin to wonder at the implications. But aside from that, no, it is rather calm ahead of this.
very well. Where is the lady? What carriage is she in?
I believe she is near the servants' quarters near the front of the train.
Very well. Thank you very much. Please.
Of course. Sorry again, sir. I misspoke. Please forget that I was here.
You would be lucky. Let us go then.
As I walk past him and give him like one of those like scolded child who got away with it nods and keep walking.
He just has his fist tightens like Arthur.
I think there's definitely a. You would know. I think you might as well. Like 6 months to a year beyond. This is just who Felix is.
Yeah.
Felix is just the dick that just demands everything and gets it. You know that he's trying to do a little, he kind of, I think, looks back at you in like an apologetic, with like the, I'm sorry, I have to be this person now, but this is who they know me for, and this is what will get us results in this party.
Yeah.
But I think you are unaware that I am no longer this.
As you entered into this second from the rear carriage, the door opens and a waft of smoke hits you. Smell of fine cigars. So you enter into a bar car. This is similarly liquored up, like the last carriage that you just passed through, but much more calm and much more jovial. The patrons of the car are sitting around large circular tables, drinking fine scotches and whiskeys and different cocktails with cigars. And there's mostly men laughing around tables here, nudging each other and sort of pointing towards things they can see in the window in the back. They might partake later, and they might not. You never know.
Maybe I could take the bags and go settle in.
A good call.
And I'll head towards the servants' quarters
Absolutely.
to settle the bags.
Yeah. You begin to pass through the train, and there are 5 cars, and the servants are transported in the first car. And so you are able to pass through all forms of the party. The car ahead of this sort of cigar room vibe is a long car. This one is just seats facing front, like a typical train, and it is packed. There are plenty of people here, and they all seem to be settled into the 5 families. And so near the back left of the train, you see the Galdaparks. They're all sort of sitting there. Lady Benilia is not with them. And in the back right, you see the Astis Willow family. They are... there's a group of people there who seem mightily concerned, as they're sort of whispering towards this man in a red jacket, who is sort of fiddling with this circular disc in his hand, kind of playing with it over and over, as you catch them sort of giving him instructions, and you immediately recognize this is Arturo.
Oh, okay.
He is a large, but rather slender fellow, very tall and lanky, and seems awkward in his jacket, as if the sleeves are perfectly fit, because it is a masterful, like, beautiful coat, and yet it doesn't fit him because he can't quite be in it. And he just looks a little dour, and almost confused at the amount of information that is coming his way.
Right.
And you continue forward. You pass.
Sorry, how old is he? Just roughly?
He's late 30s.
Okay,
He looks
thank
about 37, 38. As you pass forward, you see the various families are all here, with the Dara family sitting at the front of this car, while the other 4 families behind have each taken one side or the other, sort of sitting side by side. The Dara family is the first 3 rows of this car, and all of the members are sitting in pristine blues, matching shades, clearly here to present a united front. And they're sitting quietly, just sitting facing forward, waiting. You pass through the car. In front of that, you find Lady Benilia in the second car. It is where the wealthiest members of each of these families are, where the oldest members are. Whereas most of the people seemingly attending this party are in their 20s, 30s, early 40s. This is a car of the 50 and 60-year-olds, with Lady Benilia only in her 40s, but sipping a high tea around a table. She's also sitting with Sir Oxford Armstrong of the Valgrieve family, a 50s-year-old man. He is a very imposing figure in a square-cut jacket. He stands 6'6", 6'7". He's impossibly tall and very respected by even those outside of his own house, as being an imposing and difficult man, but very fair in dealings with him. He is a very well-known member of the Valkyrie family and very powerful within the family. You also recognize at that table Sir Claude Ostis Willow, who is in his 30s. He is the main heir to the main line of the Ostis Willow family. He is given a lot of leeway by people in Grandhurst and in the Dramark because of his position in line, but he's often placated by for his position and not for his actions. There are many rumors about this man, about his dalliances with women, both unbonded and true folk. He's smart enough to keep it away from the aristocracy, but he is a young man in his 30s who hasn't married yet and is probably getting up to something at night. And sitting at a table looking over at them, but more staring daggers over at them, you see Lady Samantha Dara. She is in her 40s, and she is known as a cruel person. She's greatly disliked outside of her family, but the family loves her because she is very responsible for a lot of their wealth. And at the table with her, sort of speaking quietly towards her shoulder as Samantha just sits there fuming, is Nicole, the other member of the vote tonight. She is sitting there. She is in a very lovely white outfit, sort of a power suit look that has gold chains dangling from the shoulders to the various buttons in a manner that just sparkles every time she turns against the light.
Why do the villains have to look so good?
I know.
This room is very quiet, and it feels like you would have to sit down at a table to hear the conversation taking place, as a couple of servants you are familiar with from the Glove and Key, who are also members of your side hustle, are pouring tea. And as you pass through, both of them look up at you and have a moment of surprise that you're on this train, but sort of just blink it away and get back to what they're doing. And you pass through into the front car, and you see on wooden benches, sitting facing forward quietly, with two heavies on the side of either door, two at the front, two at the back. They look at you. These two gruff men at the back look at you rather surprised when you enter the car. And you see the faces on these servants are not particularly joyful. And the confusion. Excuse me. What are you doing up here?
Oh, I'm just settling the bags.
Bags? Why do you have bags?
Oh, my lord likes to keep a lot of things with him just in case, you know.
It's like
I got 3 outfits in here, whole vanity case.
I mean, I guess it can sit under one of the benches. Take a seat.
Sure.
All right. As you place the bag under the bench, you look up and you realize the left ankle of each of the people in this cart is manacled to the bench that they are sitting on.
All right. Yeah, I guess once the bags are settled, I'll clock that and then begin to make my way back to the group.
And what are you doing? Sit down. We're gonna be there soon.
Right. Of course. And I just awkwardly sit there and twiddle my thumbs.
While he is off on his little side adventure, what are the rest of you doing?
Damn. I am grabbing a drink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm assuming that there's bars in each of the...
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So whatever is...
What does Kodai order at a party like this?
Something that is nondescript.
Okay.
You're very... not a mixed drink. Very, middle of the road gin.
Okay.
On the rocks.
Absolutely.
People drink gin on the rocks?
No,
I don't
that's
know.
awful.
I don't know.
Gross.
Don't they drink gin with an olive? Isn't that a thing that you do?
It's a martini.
Yeah, I mean, if
What
you
else
shake
is
it
in
and it's
it?
cold, yeah.
So it's gin with that's cold.
Yeah, but gin on the rocks
On-
just sounds awful. You
Yeah.
gotta order a martini. She orders a gin martini. What do you want?
In a similar vein, I'll have a gin and tonic. You're like, gin on the rocks. And I'm like, gin and tonic for me. I left the tonic with it, actually.
And
you like
what is
something?
Vera doing? Are you getting a drink?
Yeah, I'll have some cider.
Cider.
Sorry, what?
You have cider, right?
No.
No.
We have hard liquor and a few mix-ins.
Any beer?
No.
Uh,
Sorry, getting a keg onto a train is not exactly the easiest.
whiskey then.
Yes, of
All
course.
right, I'll
And
have some
this
whiskey.
like very fine butler goes and starts pouring, like, you know, using the jiggers to have like perfect measurements. You can see the like practice. He's not even looking at his hands, but it's just like that excellent bar craft. And those 3 drinks are presented to you all as you are now in this bar cart. The smoke is hanging in the air above you as the train keeps chugging along. You have drinks. What would you like to do in this car?
Who are the 5 people that we're looking for?
You were trying to figure out who they are.
Oh, we don't.
And we have 2 of
names.
5.
Well, Charlie probably has found a few of them,
Yeah.
but the rest of you are not with him. So right
I
now you
mean-
just know Lady Benelia
Lady Benelia. Okay,
is
and
probably one.
Yeah, it's weird that she's on the...
It's weird that she would go to a party like this if she wasn't important in some way.
Is there a gossip? Here's someone who I know who is...
nice.
who's like in the know and loose-lipped. I'm...
Give me a roll for
I
your like knowledge here.
I would like decorum
'Kay.
and intrigue.
Yes, absolutely. Give me a roll.
Decorum for, you know, it's like as we're talking, we're just talking, but then she's giving me a lot of information. Intrigue, because it's like I'm a bit
Yeah.
in the know. Now I'm rolling 5, but I might use a passion for this because this is important information for us to get. So I'm gonna spend a passion
Great.
to add 3. That's what it is. I can do that. And would you mind if I borrowed 2
I'll have
Please.
go for it.
of the bone dice? Yeah, 2. Good. I'm glad.
Any ones?
2 ones, unfortunately.
And 2. Okay.
2.
You find yourself at a table with one of the only women in the room and a group of men. She's sort of holding court. You know this girl. She's sort of known on the streets as Trixie.
Wait, her name or is that a descriptor of her?
No. People call her Trixie.
Like
Oh,
with an
Um,
X.
I was like, is her name Trixie or is she Trixie?
no, her name is Patricia.
Gotcha.
And she's a member of the aristocracy. Her family, under the Belfines, runs one of the newspapers in town, and she sort of has this like 1950s, like one of the gals who likes to hang with the boys energy. And you know her as being someone who's always in the know about what's going on, but it has enough fun and knows how to keep her mouth shut enough that she is still allowed in these crowds, even though she is definitely paying more attention than other people do to the goings-ons of the people around her. And she's sort of, you kind of sit down with your drinks as she's finishing off a joke, just like, and then the men ran out of the room. Can you believe that? Oh,
Very good.
Felix. Oh,
Patricia. Hello.
A moment of confusion crossed across her forehead. She's kind of looking at you. Of course. Hi, darling. How are you?
This is a quiet night for me, and I heard that this was happening, so I thought, well, what's the harm?
It's been a while since you've been a part of society. You disappeared on us.
Oh, you know how it is.
Well, I've heard so many awful things about you.
Oh, I'm sure only half of them are true. Yes, I a light hunting accident, and then recently got a tad of a cold. There's nothing to worry about.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so much less interesting than the stories.
That's the problem with talking to people who don't know what they're talking about.
Well, I had been told that you had run away with a woman from the Belfine family.
I wish.
I don't think you do.
No, it would make life more exciting, is what I mean.
Well, it depends on what kind of excitement you're looking for, I guess.
No, well, anything, I tell you.
Who are your friends?
Oh,
I don't recognize you.
That is a shame.
Is it?
I'm Kodai.
Where are you from, Kodai? Can't be Grandhurst.
Oh gosh, no, too big for me. I'm part of an estate that is secluded up north. I don't travel much, but
Up
it
north?
seemed important.
Interesting. Lots of things tonight are about the north, seemingly.
Do they?
I don't know. You know,
Who does?
the north. Who doesn't love the north?
A lot of mine's that way.
You brought your engineer?
We're on a train in case this points to their cane acts up. I need someone here to. It's all doctor's orders. I apparently now need to have a group of people mothering me, because woe behold that I die, and where does all my wealth go? So everyone is keeping me up at all times.
I want you to roll to see how much she buys that. What are you giving me here? Because you pointed at a wooden cane and said, in case this acts up.
I know. I think. What about cunning and express? I'm trying to
Absolutely.
express.
Great.
Yeah, I like express for this.
There's another passion for this. Completely flipped this roll.
Well,
get very
maybe-
passionate.
I'm gonna
hey,
use another
stressful
passion.
Oh, okay, we're going for it on
I
the
mean,
passions.
maybe her buying in gives you different information, or not buying in. I mean,
Yeah,
you never
who
know.
knows? Goose egg, baby.
Any glooms?
Nope. Oh, one.
Oh,
That
you
is a
have the
one.
fives with the passion.
Yeah.
So that still becomes a brill. Hey.
Yep, I have 2 5s and a 1. I didn't realize that passion.
Yeah, it makes it.
Yeah.
When you roll with passion, you
Wait,
get a
and a
5
6?
and a 6.
And a 6.
So you have a triumph then.
No, I don't have any 6s here. I just
Oh,
have 2
sorry.
5s. I have
I
2
thought you
5s
said-
and a 1.
Yeah, my bad.
Well, I've never known you to be unhappy, surrounded by people.
Not when they have money and can help me. No, of course not.
There is quite a bit of money here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, did you know Sir Casmus Belfine has arrived?
Why?
For whatever reason, he has been to the north and back, and immediately upon returning to town, is on this train to this secret party. You've
Delicious.
met Casmus. He is like 21 years old. He's very young, and he is a rather uninterested individual. A very interesting individual, very smart.
Yeah.
And his family is very hopeful for the future of this young man. But he is one of those people who has all of the ability and no interest in partaking and using it for anything.
Well, your house does definitely love to start them young.
We do. There are some battles that you can only win over time.
Did you hear that my cousin is aboard?
Amelia.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Well, of course, she's always getting her fingers in stupid pies, but
You know, she told me stories. I didn't see you at Walpole Greens, but we were getting on this train, and she came over and she started telling me all of these things. All of them lies, of course.
Of course.
Just trying to feed the rumor mill, as if I would partake.
I know. Well, she always wants to be in the know, but she doesn't have any of the smarts to do it. That's
And
the
she's
problem
not
with
smart
her.
enough to realize I know more than she does, so when she's sitting there lying to me, I know it's not true.
And that's really the greatest crime, is that she actually doesn't. Not knowing who you're speaking to is a large part of the problem when it comes to her and, you know.
I've missed you.
I know, I've missed you so
You've been
much.
gone for a while. It's good to have you back.
I know. Well, I'm back on my feet for tonight. So, hopefully we can.
Tonight? How
as
hard
a-
are you planning on going?
Well, just came from the back room, and it seems very exciting.
Yes, I
Yes.
think I might enjoy with them wherever we're going. Do you know?
Where we're going?
Yes.
Do I know where we're going? I don't.
No.
I don't. I thought that was all part of the fun.
It's the one thing I can't get out of anybody. Where the end of this line is.
Fascinating that not even you know.
Well,
What a rarity.
I think somebody's trying to keep it from me intentionally.
You specifically.
Yes. There are men who know that I can get riled up when I don't have information. It's a game we play.
To try and get you to the back of the train.
Or somewhere else, yes. It's fun. It's frustrating. And then there's a release at the end of it.
Sounds like a fun game.
Can be. No, it is.
Well, sorry for the smoke. I'm going to go further down,
I understand.
but
A hunting accident, of course.
and the illness on top of it. Please, I've been window was left open
Very
a
unlucky.
few nights ago. We should catch up later when
Absolutely.
the rooms are a bit bigger and we're not on a moving platform.
As you stand up to move, get away from this conversation, you realize the train is slowing down. And the chin, 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 chin. Someone comes in a little conductor's cap, looking very professional. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be arriving at the station momentarily here. Please prepare your things. Finish whatever drinks you have. I promise you, wherever you're going, there will be more alcohol provided.
As we turn away from Trixie, I'm going to brush your shoulder and make eye contact with her behind you in a kind of almost suggestive way, and then whisper to you, "We're missing one. He never came back."
I'm going to take a seat in one of the carriages. Would you like to go and try and find our lost one? Do you want to join? I don't know if excitement is my night, but there's a lot of people here who I can speak to.
Absolutely. We'll see where they went. Also, you don't have to cover for me like that. I'm okay with people knowing who I am. They're good with me.
I'm aware, but on a place where we're not specifically meant to be, I thought it'd be safe. But duly noted, I will not placate that anymore. However, it might. But unfortunately, too late. Patricia is a bit of a loudmouth.
It's okay.
You make it to the next cart ahead. There's no debauchery, and there's no smoke. And you find that cart of people milling about. The announcement that we're arriving at the train has sparked the conversation. And where before it was sort of this factioned, broken apart section of people, now you have a wild speculation going on as people are starting to get excited about whatever tonight's mysterious festivities are going to be. And you make your way towards the middle of the car where the Galda Park family are all seated. And many people you're related to are suddenly very surprised that old Uncle Felix is here after a while having pulled back from the social life for you to arrive at a party as exclusive as this one without having told anyone that you were going to be attending. There are many confused looks, and the train pulls to a stop before anyone can ask you any questions. And the door at the front of this carriage opens, and people begin to get up. And as you begin to go off to look, you're suddenly buffeted by people on all sides as the conductors are herding people onto the platform. You are seated at the front of the train as it comes to a stop. As it's been slowing down, what have you been doing?
I think I just, because I'm stuck in this, because it's just the two guys, right?
Well, there's two heavies at the front and two heavies at the back, and then there are a bunch of servants around you in sort of black catering attire.
Waiting. Sorry.
Each of them with their left ankle locked to the seat they're at.
Okay, so I'm the only person not just chained
As
up.
far
in
as you
this
can
room.
tell, yeah.
Do I recognize anyone? Like any of the servants?
No, you don't.
Okay. I will just strike up a conversation with whoever's beside me because the silence is killing me.
There's a young man next to you, and as you start to kind of speak to him, he just like, just don't, man. Tonight's gonna be rough enough as is.
Oh, I'm a last minute hire. What do you mean?
They're just needy, and if you don't follow through, these fucking rich fucks, you know what I mean? Just I don't want to deal with the guys at the front. Just leave me alone.
Sure, no problem.
So the silence stretches as the train slows down, and this lever is pulled at the front, and as it is, these manacles unclasp at the same time. There's around the room, and in an orderly fashion, all of these servants kind of step up and begin to file their way towards the door on the left at the front of the carriage.
I will go that way.
With that bag in tow. You are the only one carrying anything, and you stand out. There is a uniform.
Will they let me out the other way now that we're here?
You could try if you'd like.
Yeah, I will, because I'll try to rejoin them if I can.
Yeah, absolutely. As you go towards the back, the guy just kind of like pulls this like club out and points at you. Whatever you need, you can find inside.
All right. Fuck.
And you join the queue and begin to head out. As you exit the front door, you see there is a curtain that is being pulled up over this metal rod that is hanging between the carriage and a door. And it is blocking the back of the train from being able to see whatever is happening as these servants are being herded through this passageway into the thumping music of this party. And there's a moment as you hear this thumping where you realize you've never heard music like this before. There's so many different sounds and instruments playing all at once. And it is this cacophony of sound, as opposed to the sort of rhythmic and legato of the string instruments that you're most familiar with. This is a variety of noises you've never heard before. Some you can't even put words to.
Fantasy EDM.
I was gonna say Skrillex. Like
it's electric and violent and angry in with modulations that you've just never thought possible, as you are sort of herded towards this kitchen off to the right ahead of you. Okay. The other three of you step off of the train into the lines of people who are headed towards this party, and as you get off of the train and you look around you, you see off to the right this black curtain blocking off something at the front of the train. And you look up and immediately you all recognize where you are. Not because you've been in this station before, but you've been in a station in this station, which is the Grand Interchange at the center of the city. And before you, there are giant doors into a ballroom underneath the Grand Interchange. And there are lights and music. It's a music unlike anything you've ever heard before. And it seems to be coming from the ceiling in front of you, as these wide open doors are blasting this sound out at you. And this large metal object seems to be swirling in the room ahead of you. And because of the archways, you can't quite make out what it is at this point. But the crowd is sort of being slowly subsumed into this party as people are making their way through the various doors ahead of you. You notice that each person, as they are passing through the door, you're about 20 people back right now, is reaching into a coat or into a pocket or into a purse and pulling out a small gold sliver of paper and handing it to the person at the door. None of the three of you have one of these. And slowly, one by one, the people ahead of you are heading into this party. What would you like to do?
Do you have an idea of how to get in? Because
Is your idea more of what you pulled at the back of the train?
a little bit.
Oh, all right. It's easy for you to slip into that, huh?
More comfortable than the guys I'm currently wearing. I believe I could get us three in.
Yeah.
Can I investigate the curtain? Are there any breaks in it? Can I look? Like, is there... or is it like one...
It seems to be like there's like 4 metal poles, and there seems to be a black curtain over each one. So it seems to be like 4 different curtains that end with each pole. You can kind of see between the curtains where the pole is around it. You can see movement behind it.
I'm going to like kind of nudge the other two and gesture at that there seem to be people moving on the other side of this curtain. Seems that there's another way to get in.
Possibly for the ones like yourself who have a bit more access and movement. There you are. I appreciate that everything I say has a slight tinge of insult.
I'm used to it, man.
I believe I could. I truly believe that I could. I don't think if I go behind the curtain I would be of much use.
If you-
I'm not as fast as the pair
I
of
feel
you.
like it's worse to try to go behind the curtain, because that's obviously not the path we're meant to take.
If you think that you can get us in, but it just seems
There's now
That-
15 people ahead of you.
we are missing the proper invitations.
The fact that Charlie isn't here must mean that there are servants' entrance here.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be a way to slip in there, but again, I don't believe that I would be able to pull off slipping through servants'
Yeah.
entrance.
If you believe that you can,
There's now 12 people ahead of you.
we can be last in line and you can slowly make your way.
Just do your thing. I think it'll be fine.
Very well.
There's a tense series of events as the people in front of you just keep passing through, and you do not have an invitation, and you know that you are coming up to a confrontation rather quickly here. And suddenly you are standing, the 3 of you, before a young, large man. He's in sort of a black shirt that is just sort of built for him to move in case there's a situation. It's sort of like whatever this world's version of a t-shirt is, and he clearly is working security. And he just kind of like sees you hold out his hand.
As we hit 5 people in the line, I turn to you and I do apologize for what's going to transpire. And then as we hit, and then the
Alright.
person hands up their hand, I then hold up my hand to you, like you're to give me the tickets. You're fucking kidding me. Again, the second time.
I just need the tickets they gave you at Walpole Green when you went through security.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Do we not have them for the 3 of us? My name will be on the list. Whereas, do you have a list?
There's no list, sir.
There's no list.
You went through security and you were given a ticket. It was 30 minutes ago.
Yes, I am aware of that. Don't talk to me like that. Talk to them like that. Listen, I understand.
If you want to get in, I just need a ticket, sir. I don't.
What is your position here? Is security doors?
Security, yeah.
Yes. I myself and entourage are supposed to be coming through here. There are people who are expecting and waiting for me. You understand? You know my house. Do you know me?
I know, sir. I don't know who you are.
Okay. Well, I'm part
Mistake.
of the. I'm part of the Galderparks, Felix Galderpark. Lord, thank you very much. Let us in. I
Lord,
will get someone who knows.
Okay, you're trying to intimidate this man.
I am actually trying to use my title in portfolio. I have 3 in title.
Well, then you burn one because there's nothing. It
Yep.
just succeeds.
Yeah.
So you throw your title at this man.
I start yelling like, "How do you not know who I am?"
He just realizes there's still people behind you, and there's a shift when you yell "Lord" at him, where this man realizes that you're not just an invitee, where you're like, "Oh, this man has like legal power in this world." Sir, I understand. I understand your
Yes, you understand.
servant lost it. That happens. People misplace things. I do apologize, please.
There we go. Very good. The apology is what I wanted. Get through. Through.
I'm sorry. The next person is just like awkwardly standing behind you. It's like someone who's real drunk, and they're kind of like handing over their gold ticket. They're like, oh, that guy. Huh?
Was there anyone else like around us, behind us, who would be recognizable enough that I would know who they are?
Everyone here is recognizable. These are. You would look around and realize that these are all inner circle members of the various families. They're all incredibly wealthy, and despite the sort of undress some of them are in, it is more rich kids go to a rave kind of attire than it is a staunch dinner party.
Okay. Is there anyone who is like paying particular attention to this? I know like there's been like drinks and drugs and stuff, but is anyone like a little bit too keen on clocking the three of us?
I mean, people are definitely looking over at the yelling, but there's also the music. There's a lot going on in this moment, and the people are generally distracted by the same thing that you were all quickly distracted by as you enter into the party, which is the roof of this building, this domed building on all sides, leads up to this metal machine that's unlike anything you've seen before. As it begins to spin around and around, you realize the music is actually coming from the machine above you in this room as a silokinetic mechanism is at the center of this party and at the center of the vibe of this party. And suddenly the music flavor makes sense to you all. Of course, it's something you've never heard before. It is a music from before any of you existed, before the world was ruined as it was. It's the music of an ancient world brought to life by a machine that none of you have heard of before, in a ballroom that none of you have heard of before, underneath the interchange at the center of the city. Thumping basses ripple through the tiles as you realize there are far more people here than were on the train. And you are not the first train to arrive. Behind you, the final people make it through and the doors close. And a man steps up onto a platform up at the front. This is a young event producer from the Dara house. He is well known for throwing kind of lavish parties for the Daras, planning their weddings and whatnot. And he grabs this knob on this platform on the one side of the stage, and he twists it down. And as he does, the music volume lessens and the spinning above goes away. And this man looks at you all. Timothy Cromwell. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me tonight. This is one of those rare evenings where the Dara household gets to bring all of you together to show off something truly spectacular. A silokinetic, dormant, ever since the ruin took these lower passages of the Grand Interchange. We've been working down here for months, twisting every wire, trying to figure out what this pesky ornament was for, till one day it all clicked. And a sound unlike anything, a music unheard of, that same music you all walked into, burst forth. This is an exciting day for House Dara. You know how much we love to impress, and so I hope that you'll be impressed by this evening. The liquor will flow. There's a few things in the back room I think you will all enjoy greatly. Anything you need, find someone. And as he says someone, he points over towards this line of servants along one wall. And as you look over, you see standing there clutching this bag in this line of servants is Charlie. They're all here to help tonight. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for coming. Come say hi when you can. And as he says that, he yanks the knob off to the right, and the music starts pumping loudly into this room, and you hear it so loud you begin to feel it in your bones. It's a feeling you've only experienced in this world if you have stood right next to a large drum. But it is coming from the ceiling and it is everywhere.
Kind of reminds me of home.
And the party begins to hit in full swing. Women in short dresses, cleavage abound, burst into the crowd with trays filled with goblets of champagne and other liquors. People begin to dance, staring up at this wondrous device as it sort of brings them into the motion of the party. And the vibe of confusion and angst and wonder, or it shifts to wonder, as this device begins to emit different colors, purples and blues and greens, the sorts of colors that you would never see from lights outside of a device from before the world was falling apart. As the liquor flows, Charlie finds a way. You have a brief moment to get away from the group that you're with.
Yeah, great.
As everyone breaks off to their duties.
Yeah, I will like slide the bag under a nearest table and like pick up a serving tray and just start to work the room and try and find the group again.
You, Charlie, as you begin to pass drinks, you find in the center of this room your friends standing sort of just enamored with the cyclokinetic machine pumping music and light and vibrance into this party. And you walk over.
Yeah, I'm like going and letting people grab drinks off the tray and then kind of beelining it to put the tray in front as if I'm offering you all so we can have a chat. Glad I found you guys again. All right, things were a little weird at the front of the train. All the servants were manacled to the train, and then they were released. Really worried about that part.
Well, yes, that's been known to happen, especially considering we just had a lot of bloodshed on the aristocrats' side. We don't want the help getting up. It might be a different thing, but that's how I understand it.
All right, we'll shelf that. So I think I saw the people we're looking for. We got Lady Benelia, of course. I saw Oxford, Armstrong, Claude, Astus Willow, the heir, Lady Samantha Dara, who was talking to Nicole, and then Casmus Belfiend.
Okay.
Those seem like the heavy hitters in the car, anyway.
Right. And we need Arturo to get the majority vote, because then the mine that everyone is after is going to be.
And I'm guessing Samantha Dara is a hard against.
I was going to say, unless anyone has something particularly delicious on her that we might be wasting our time.
I can try to find something, but she's a stern woman.
So maybe
So I
we
don't
should
know
just
if that's
focus
going
on
to
the
work.
other votes.
I think that would be wise.
As you guys put your heads together in the middle of this dance floor, a little bit louder than we're currently speaking because the music is like you, Felix, hear Felix, and you turn. Pushing through the crowd is your cousin, Lady Benelia, coming over to you. Felix, what are you doing here?
It's a secret party, and no one decided to invite me, so I thought I'd invite myself.
You got in without an invitation.
My name is my invitation. I go where I please.
Oh, great. But does the family know you're here? There are important things happening tonight, Felix.
Yes, I'm perfectly aware. If you're aware, darling, I am also aware.
There's a moment when you lean in to say that, where you catch a whiff of iron. Like a strange metallic smell from your cousin. Well, fine, as long as you don't get in the way.
Licking hammers again, are we?
What?
Iron smell. Smell like metal. Smell disgusting.
There's this flicker of fear that passes through her eyes as she pulls back for a moment. Says, well, as long as you don't ruin things, that's fine. And she just parades off. Her, like, lackeys in tow.
I'm going to follow up on that, I think.
I see it runs in the family. Your dashingly good looks, of course.
I apologize for earlier.
Your servants forgive you.
Well, we should split, I think. At best cover this ground. We have 5 people and... God, when does the vote even start? Do we know?
I haven't heard anything
Better
yet.
hurry, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we should each, take someone at least. If we know that Samantha Dara is a no, as you suspect, and I imagine we suspect, we can each take one person and try to sway their vote too.
You also know that, like, the Claude Astis Willow is definitely a yes for Arturo. Arturo is a member of the Astis Willow family, and they're
Sure.
propping him up for sure.
Okay. Alright, well, in that case, we have a yes and we have a no. And we have 3 undecideds. I don't know how we want to handle this.
Your cousin, how do you expect her to vote?
Whoever is the last most influential person to speak to her, she is an idiot and highly influenceable. So, I'm happy to peruse and get people out of trouble if something happens, but if you really think that you can take the 3 votes.
Is she more willing to vote the way that you want her to, or not?
No one in my house wants vote the way I want to.
So if you said that you were voting for Nicole, she might vote for Arturo.
Is she that spiteful?
You know her better than I do.
If you can swing in some way of saying that she might get some of my money if she votes the other way, I lose some form of name and house. If my vote goes incorrectly, then she will probably want to grab some of the
I'm also wondering about the...
leavings.
You said her breath smelled like iron?
I don't know what that was. Just not even her breath, but she did. I mean, these are mines, right? That's what we're asked to do.
Yeah, that's not good on a person who doesn't work in the mines.
Do you think she's got the...
It's usually the start of it in some cases.
Start of what? What do you mean?
I've never seen it, but...
Remember what we saw in the tunnels when we were...
I don't think it is that.
No.
My illness is a little more than a regular one. I'm not sure how it happened, whether it's house treachery or simple bad luck, but I do have some form of ruin in me. I don't have long, and my body seems to be withering. Like, kind of gestures to the cane and
Shit.
I need to... I
Earlier when I was joking, I didn't know.
No.
I'm sorry.
I've done a lot of bad things in my time. I don't need forgiveness for them, I just need them to be fixed. So this vote has to go this way, and I don't think my cousin has what I have. I think I would probably know.
It manifests differently in everyone.
Mayhaps.
Either way, it leaves us with Benelia, I think, right? And then we've also got Casmus to talk to, and I think he just came back from a stint from the north. You said.
The north is where these mines are, right?
Yeah.
And they're iron mines,
I'm
so it means
familiar,
that
yeah.
I mean, what if all of them have already been? What does that? I mean, my cousin may have gone. That's probably what the iron smell is.
That's possible. It's hard to see them all.
But what would that mean? Why would they be going there? Would they go just to look at it?
Well, I think it's more an important question at who took them. Because obviously they've been persuaded somehow.
And what do they want out of it?
As you look around looking for these people on your list, you see Oxford Armstrong and Casmus are both with Arturo, closer to the stage that Timothy had stepped up on. And you see the three of them are in a discussion. They're sort of flanked by people who seem to be sort of standing with their backs to whatever this conversation is, sort of looking out. Benelia is pushing through. You can see the path that she left as most of the party seems to be coming together in this dance. And the fantasticness, particularly those who partook of the rust on the train and are under the sway of the drug, are particularly entranced by the lights of this cylokinetic dance machine above you. As Benelia is sort of wading her way through this crowd, the seas parting leave a trail. The two that you don't see now, you don't see Nicole and Samantha, who you had seen together on the train. And you don't see Claude Ostis Willow at first. And as you're scanning the crowd trying to find him, there is a back curtain off of where the three men are speaking on the side of the stage. And a head pokes out, and it is Claude, a well-known figure in the Ostis Willow family. You've all seen his face before. The Ostis Willow family is very proud, frequently rides through town in these sort of glass-topped carriages, so they can be seen. They like being seen. And this man pokes his head out, and he kind of like nods at the three men standing there, and the three men head into that curtained back way with him. And the people who are kind of guarding their conversation step in the way of that door. Benelia and Benelia is the only person of these five still on the floor.
I'm going to kind of just place my hand in give me a moment with Benelia. I'll be 2 minutes. And I'm going to kind of walk around in a way that I'm going to like try and determine what her pathing is going to be,
Okay.
so that I can.
She seems to be headed towards a bar along the wall.
Okay, so I'm going to head to that bar, and then, you know when somebody walks past you and says something in passing, and then the crowd kind of closes and you can't actually respond to it? It just kind of like, you know that they've heard you, but they can't like interact with you much. She's gonna head to the bar. She's going to like undo the jacket a little bit, scruff it up, and kind of like change her posture to be a bit more seductive, I guess is the word.
Okay.
And seeing an opening as she's making her way over there, we're going to like slip by it, catch her eye, and just kind of say, "It's a real pity what's going to happen to Felix if the vote goes this way." And then the crowd closes behind,
That's cool.
and she disappears into the rest of the party.
Benelia like stops in her tracks, searching for who you are, and immediately looks over at Felix, concerned about him. You've just threatened his life. Roll to see how well you can disappear from her view.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you doing to disappear into this crowd?
I think that audacity to move through people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then foster for that like almost like party environment, you know, like when you get close to people and the
Everyone's
just everything
dancing
shifts.
and-
So I'm gonna take those 5.
Absolutely.
Damn. Okay. 1 gloom and no brills.
As you try and disappear into this party. You pass through some people and you think you might have disappeared. All of a sudden, Benelia is standing there with her hand on her shoulder. And there's a tightness to her grip that is stronger than you expect.
Okay.
As you sort of are anchored in the spot by this woman in her 40s that is thin and beautiful, but not muscular.
But stronger than she looks.
And as you turn over your shoulder to look at her, there's this feral grin on her face as she looks down at you. I don't recognize you.
Not yet. And she is going to, like, trail her, like, fingers, not breaking, like, not trying to break their contact, but kind of, like, almost prolonging it.
Cute. Why are you threatening a member of my house?
I'm not.
It sounded like a threat. What did you mean by that?
It would just be a shame if he lost all that wealth. I don't know what he would do otherwise.
I don't understand, and I think it would be in your best interest to explain yourself quickly, Miss
Harvey. Don't worry.
That's not an explanation, dear. Why did you say that about Felix?
All I'm saying is that my services require money, and if he is no longer going to have the wealth that he does, perhaps you would be interested?
What services would those be?
A confidant, a companion, someone to celebrate the end of the world with.
Not interested.
A shame.
Be careful what circles you play in. There are things in this world that are more dangerous than money. The party kind of pushes through you and she's gone.
She pulled the thing that you wanted to
I know!
She did the thing you wanted to do.
You're so much cooler when she did it. I am going to head back to the group and fill them in on the exchange.
As you are on your way back, you catch there is a wall on the side of this party where there are a variety of girls, young girls, sort of scantily clad, and you see as they're passing one at a time, men are going up to these girls and grabbing one by the hand and pulling them off into this doorway out of the ballroom. And not unexpected at a party with the level of wealth that is here. But what you don't expect is there's a girl there you know. A girl named Sally that you know from home.
Okay.
You haven't seen her in a while. You hadn't thought anything of it until this moment where you see her against the wall, looking sort of dazed, transfixed by the psilokinetic machine above you, just sort of swaying lightly in a brassiere and panties, waiting for someone.
All right. Well, then they can wait. I'm going to head up and take her hand without saying anything and pull her to. Are they doors or curtains or like?
There's a doorway into sort of this curtained area.
Great. Yeah. So I'm going to take her through there and find a completely private spot. I don't know if they're like cubicles or whatever.
Yeah, there's like the curtained off areas.
Yeah.
The sounds that hit you here are lascivious. Like it is a place where people are partaking in the joys of the human flesh.
Then I'm going to take her into a room and I'm going to turn around to like pull the curtain shut and take out this mask that I have on my person and place it on my face and turn around to her.
As you turn with this mask on, this girl goes from dazed and just transfixed, and as you pull her along, there is sort of this like content resentment in the action of it. And as she sees this mask, her brain isn't fully able to click into what is happening, but there's just enough there that there's a widening of the pupils, and she just drops to her knees looking up at you in this moment. And as you look down at her, you see those bronze shining flecks in her eyes. And she just is staring at you like, oh, hi.
Going to grab her hand and lift her up. Sally, right?
You know my name.
I do.
You know my name. Oh, wow. Hi.
I know everyone who shares with the Steel Souls.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
I got caught up in... I tried a thing, and it was so joyful and fun, and I don't really know what happened then. I've just...
I'm not here to punish you. However, you've seen the Silokinetic.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It is. Would you like to aid me? Would you like to be of service?
In what?
I need to find out who owns this Silokinetic.
I think it's the Dara family.
It belongs to them?
They're the ones that brought me here.
Do you work for them frequently?
I guess I do. I never thought of it as work. They kept giving me rust, and the way it makes me feel.
I see.
Help you, aid you, how? I'll do anything.
We need that Silokinetic. Don't you agree? It belongs to us.
I'm not sure how I can help. It's massive.
No, but I need you to find out who in this Dara family looks after it and cares for it, where it goes, where it's kept, and all.
It's kept here.
Here all the time.
It was found here, and they repaired it here. It's always been here since before.
How did you get into this ballroom?
I was brought here on the train.
You came on the train
This morning.
Were you brought through the same door as everyone else?
Yes.
You haven't interacted with Casmus Belfian, have you?
Yes.
You have.
I came down from the north with him.
And you came with him as...
I don't
company?
know. He came up a few days ago.
Mm-hmm. To do what?
To visit an estate, I think. Something happened, and he was partying in town that night, and...
Do you know who he was with?
A man named Claude, very rich. I don't know which family he's with.
Okay.
But Claude and Casmus were there, and that's all I know. They found some of us in town. Claude found out that rust had made its way up there, and he wasn't very happy about it. But when he found out that we enjoyed his work, he invited us to come with him to this party. He said it would be very important. This was 4 days ago.
All right. Thank you for your information.
You're welcome.
When you come home, come see me.
Okay. I will. I promise. I promise I will. And I won't touch this stuff anymore. I don't know how. I don't actually know how it got me all the way here.
Well, and that in itself is concerning.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
I'm still sorry.
Go now. Enjoy yourself. And tomorrow, I will see you.
Thank you. She kind of awkwardly slips past you through the curtain and out to the party.
I take the mask off and I slip it back into whatever pocket bag
Yeah.
one would have at
The
a party
secret
like this.
pouch that you have in your bag for it.
Yeah, exactly. And and I head back to the group.
Right. What were the two of you doing while this was going on?
I think I would, following the news of what happened, try to hunt down Benelia myself.
Great. Absolutely. I need you to roll to see if you see where she disappears to in that moment.
Ooh, all right. Let's see. I think that would be... Maybe I'll take Obsession and I'll use it with... Intuit, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? All right.
I love that.
That's 3. 2 4s and a 2.
You don't see where she goes, but you do notice in this moment that the way that she disappears seems faster than you would expect. It's like off-putting how she's just suddenly gone.
Yeah. Is there anything I can do to try to track her down? Or try to...
Yeah, what would you like to do? What do you think that you would do to track her down in this moment?
I think she would be, being who she is, she would be dressed a specific sort of way, but everyone here is dressed a very flamboyant kind of way, so I don't know that that would do a lot.
The outfits here are extravagant and ridiculous, right? Like, it is really like a steampunk rave. It's somewhere between like a Bridgerton party and the rave from Matrix 2.
Oh my gosh.
It's like living in like the middle ground between those two visuals.
It was so funny at that whole moment. I was like, oh, she's like woman in the red dressing it.
You know the shriveled voice of your, was it cousin? Better than anyone. Could you help me find her?
I can.
Yeah?
Much like myself, Felix has like on sitting down, and it's like it's getting hotter in this room because everyone's dancing. Has like taken off the bow tie and the jacket, and he's like,
Charlie's just falling behind, picking up pieces and putting them in a bag.
but like they don't have the rolled up sleeves that I do, because I think they begin to roll up, but then you two see that like he's crazy wrinkled, like fully like he looks like an 80-year-old man, and then rolls them back down, and then does up his shirt. Gets like shakily gets up and then walks over to like the closest person that looks that he knows who's of like, you know, higher up aristocracy.
It's Trixie. It would
It's
be the
fully
like
Trixie.
the nearest by person that you know who is of any like meaningfulness to the aristocracy would be Trixie. Who's just sort of like absolutely going in the middle of this party. You see Trixie has found her way into the middle near the people who were being the most debaucherous in the final car. And while she is definitely... The thing you know about her as a person is that she is able to play with the hardest players, but never imbibes in a way where she loses control in those situations. She loves to surround her... She loves to be the sober person around drunks because of the power that it gives her over them.
I'm a big fan of this woman.
You're a big fan of every NPC I create.
A lot of them, yeah. All of them are like weirdly hot, so they're hot in just enough fucked up ways that appeals to me specifically.
It's the control issues.
Yeah, bro, I loved the hag. Like I would fuck that weird gangly woman. Well, try to get her attention.
She's just sort of out, like arms in the air dancing.
Is like is like leaning on the cane whilst also. You haven't seen my bitch of a cousin, have you?
What?
Benelia.
Benelia. Oh,
Where?
your cousin.
Yes, where?
Oh,
Have
she's
you
just
seen her?
bouncing up and down. Starts like, you know when someone comes up to you at a party, is like, do you know where this person is? You're like, oh, I guess I'll try and help.
Yeah.
Is she also really short and is like...
and you see, she kind of points. She's like, I think that's her. And you like look over the direction she's pointing, and it is towards that same sort of. She's beelining towards that back door that the man entered earlier.
Ooh. Wondering if I could get. Okay, all right. This is gonna be a weird pull.
Great, I love weird pulls.
We are a big house, very rich.
Yes.
There's a lot of like weird eccentric fashion that happens with us as well, is what I imagine.
Oh yeah, the Galdaparks for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna, seeing her, I wanna pick a fashion faux pas that would not be bad for most people, but for our house is, and I want to almost like whisper network, like hit her really quick with it. I would like to use my wardrobe portfolio that I have.
Incredible. Okay, but you gotta pick the wardrobe, like
Role playing.
All right. So there are a lot of Galdaparks at this party.
Yeah.
So how are you, while she is already walking towards this door, how are you involving the Galdaparks in this fashion faux pas? Because I can't say no because it's a portfolio.
Here is how I imagine it happening. Is that she's walking toward, but has to stop every now and again, wait for people to go past, and it's like...
And she's being greeted by everybody.
That's it.
Yeah.
I like go to the nearest, like, you know, Galdapark. It'll be something like, the bow on the back of her dress is, the bow on the back of her dress, first of all, is the wrong color for that, but it's going to, that is definitely going to come undone, and people are going to think that we use cheap material. I need someone to let her know. And then it's like one Galdapark saying it, then goes like, holy shit, did you see that the bow on the dress is like super cheap?
Yeah.
And then it's like, it takes like 15 minutes. But it's because of how often she's getting stopped, I can get it so one Galdapark is like, hey, I don't know what you're doing, but we need to go fix that.
Oh, you absolutely...
And I can like pull her out of the room and I can be like, she's over there.
You see this young girl who is in like an ostentatiously like sort of sheer dress. But very much in like the blue teal of the Galdaparks, sort of is the one that catches her and is like, we need to get you to the bathroom. Like, we need to fix this. Yeah. There's a moment of, as the two of you are watching your cousin, the first facial expression that she shows isn't embarrassment, but it is annoyance. And then there's a moment of realization, and then the embarrassment that you would expect from a Galdapark slides over that. And she begins to follow this girl out of the room towards the bathrooms away from that door.
Do you want to?
I'll go meet your cousin in the bathroom. I'll try not to get too carried away.
Very good. God, I hope so.
And so, Vera, you follow her, these two women, to the bathroom. And by the time you get there, she's moving a bit faster because she's waving people off. She's not stopping to chat anymore. Benelia enters this bathroom area first. And as you go down this hallway, there are people sort of waiting. There's a line for the men's room instead of the women's, which never happens. But like at this party, there's clearly more men than women, as often happens at sort of these rich people to-dos. The men with the tiny bladders as they age. They have to pee a lot. And you enter into the bathroom, and it's large and spacious, and there are stalls. You're not quite sure at first how many other people are here, but Benelia and this woman are against like the far wall. Benelia's got like her hands up against the wall, like bracing herself as this woman is tying this bow tie like tight and kind of like stretching this or squinching this woman into her outfit and trying to tie the bow in like a perfect little.
So can I actually add one thing? Can I give you the bow tie that I've taken off to like introduce yourself with, like, hey, by the way, I'm just gonna fix this to you to like finish the outfit.
Amazing, amazing.
Just so you have something to like introduce yourself with to her. Anyway, I'm out.
Okay, so you go over, you walk into the room holding the bow tie. How are you approaching Benelia in this bathroom?
So, I see her braced against the wall, and I see the person she's with struggling to make anything happen with that fabric. And
She's really just pulling really hard. She's not accomplishing anything. She's just like sort of like trying, and she's got so much strain holding the bow tie that she can't tie it.
I think that fabric is not gonna do what you need it to do. Pardon me, but one of your cousins sent me after you to give you this, and I offer up the bow tie. That. The bow.
I'm so sorry. I have a problem with the bow on the back of my dress, and you want me to wear a man's bow tie.
No. It's a bow.
What am I supposed to do with it, darling?
It fits well with the color scheme you have going on.
And where am I supposed to wear it?
Tie it on the back of your dress.
Oh, my waist has not been the size of a man's neck since...
No, I mean, use the fabric of the existing here. May I?
You can absolutely try. I have no idea where you're going with this, but if you can roll, man, if you
See,
can roll...
we're on the same level. I think
Yeah.
we get
I
how
don't
to
understand how you take a bow tie to the back of a dress and tie the dress.
If there's already a tie from the dress, you're just attaching it on, and it's flowing down with the old fabric.
I will let you roll to attempt this. Absolutely. I don't buy it at all. Could you draw it for me? I'm so confused.
So basically, the old fabric is like hanging down, and the bow tie is on top, a la like a bolo tie, but on the back of her.
We all get it.
We're fashion forward.
Okay, roll. I don't know.
I'm gonna use ingenuity, and I'm gonna use craft.
Go for it.
That's really
Nice.
good.
Go for it. I'm
so
tempted to make
smart.
you roll one less dice for difficulty. But you know what? Yeah. No, you know what? Drop a dice. Get a dice out of there. If you want to have a good shot at this, you're going to have to throw passion or something into this.
I'm rolling with passion.
Yeah, man.
You're really passionate about trying to tie this bow tie into the back of this dress.
We're just passionate to get into this conversation because
It's
this
important.
will be our third attempt of trying to get this vote
is
to be
it.
positive.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So it is a...
I thought you were just going to interrogate this one, but you're like, let me...
Okay.
Let me help you first.
Oh no!
What happened?
Yeah, there's 2 glooms.
And no brills?
And 1 brill.
Okay, well,
So
it's a
that
failure.
is a catastrophe, right?
Yep.
As you attempt to tie this men's bow tie, all you end up doing is pulling. You're significantly stronger than the young girl before, and as you try and pull this tight so you can wrap the bow tie around it, you just rip the back of the dress. And the young girl with the 2 of you is so immediately concerned with what happened and with the reputation that Benelia has that she and runs out of the bathroom in fear. As you are standing there, as this 40-year-old woman feels her dress rip and just silently, but seething with anger, turns to you. Who are you? And why have you done this to me?
I'm here to help. And we're gonna get you in a proper dress. Don't even worry about that. Hang tight. But
We are already at the party, dear. What could you possibly mean?
there are so many of your family members who came here with multiple outfits.
As you're saying this, she brushes off your shoulder and begins to check under the stalls one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And walks over to the door and pushes the door closed and locks it and turns on you. And as she does, her face starts to go feral. What are you saying?
No!
Let's roll with
A
fight.
fun fashion moment.
I was so worried that this would happen.
This was gonna be a crazy
Gang,
scene.
No.
That means that there's 1 yes, 1 no, and 1 not available for the vote. So that's a win. No?
Oh my
It's
god.
an even number, though.
I'll give you a dress.
What am I
if you
saying
vote this
to
way.
her in this moment?
As you've kept talking while she walked around you. So what's this? How are you trying to talk her down here?
You are leaving this room looking better than anyone here. I'll see to that.
Well, you're not leaving this room at all. And as she says that, the sides
it.
of her
I
mouth
knew it.
begin to
Yeah.
rip open. As this rictus grin opens on her mouth and her jaw detaches as it slowly descends down her neck.
Oh, I
As
knew it.
her musculature of her upper body starts to ripple with strength as she begins to stalk towards you in this empty bathroom. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna fucking bolt out of the room.
All right, I need you to roll to see if you can get around her. So you're trying to like, she's between you and the door. So I need you to kind of make a move. How are you getting around this person? As you see the telltale signs of a flesh eater in front of you.
And he just talked us down. He's like, no way she could have ruin.
Yeah, I knew it! God, I've seen it before!
I was like, this woman smells like blood. And he's like, there's nothing going on here. She was at an iron mine recently. I don't know.
Oh, I thought blood smelled like copper.
It's like metallic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Specifically, copper is the phrase. So iron and iron mine. I'm not taking the blame for this.
You don't leave a mine smelling like the metal.
Also, I just thought like ruin eats metal, so maybe there's the metallic smell that comes along with it or
Listen.
something.
Oh God, yeah.
What are
Now-
you doing to get around this woman?
Now the truth is revealed. Everyone has something to say.
I'm going to use my much larger frame and just like sheer brute force and just muscle
God.
around her mid-transformation.
All right.
Holy shit.
You're going to have to roll. What are you rolling to do that?
I'm gonna roll with audacity and physicality.
Oh,
Hell
with
yeah.
passion.
Awesome.
Can I do
Okay.
that?
Go for it.
Awesome.
Oh, okay. So that's gonna be 5 and then seven. All right. Jeez. Okay.
6, isn't it? Is it?
Hmm?
No,
5
you
and then
don't.
plus
You
2.
have 6 in your hand, is what I meant. No, you have 7 in your hand. Sorry,
No.
I miscounted.
Yeah.
I'm panicking.
So as she transforms, you're going to try and physically push through her and get to the door.
in that moment of like, state of change.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Ah! Oh no.
Well, there's a 5 there.
There's a 5.
There's 1 5 and 1 1.
Okay,
All right.
that's still
So
a
it's a success.
success. That's a brill.
As you run into her, you are able to kind of like shove into her, but you realize immediately this person is much stronger than you. And as you shove into her side, her arm bats you away, and you feel yourself physically lifted off of the ground as you careen into the bathroom stall.
Oh no.
I need you. She is going to then advance. You don't take. You're fine in the moment. As you just kind of like get bucked against this door, but what you see immediately is this woman turn and very quickly advance upon you, and she's going to take her hand, which has extended into these sort of clawed fingers,
Finish your description.
and she's going to attempt to stab into you. I need you to roll to dodge out of the way of this.
All right.
Shit.
All right. Fuck. What I.
You're
what I
rolling
roll
against
with
her rating on this, and so you are going to have to roll a 3. You're gonna have to roll 3 brills to avoid taking damage here.
that. Holy. All right.
Or no, wait, no. Sorry, that's not how rating works. You're gonna have to roll to dodge, and if you don't, you'll take 3 vitality.
Oh. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Shit. Oh, all right. I guess. Can craft be used in this regard?
If you can explain to me how, absolutely.
All right. Okay. What would you use in personality in this event? I just been
Trying
thrown
to
against
dodge?
a wall.
To dodge.
Yeah.
Defiance.
Defiance, maybe.
Defiance isn't bad.
Yeah, or
Audacity.
ingenuity.
Cunning.
What is audacity when it comes to
It
like a
is
description in the game?
I think an
almost
audacious move.
like confidence in a
Yeah,
way, like
yeah.
arrogance, confidence that like of course I'm going to succeed at this.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Like you take the top of the.
You have
toilet
the
and you're like
audacity.
smacking on
Oh my God.
doing it.
So I guess
Instead of-
audacity and craft, and for craft, my explanation would be the fact that I'm working on a factory, and I'm around heavy machinery all the time,
Okay.
and so it gives me really good mind-muscle connection.
You can like craft a weapon with something.
You can grab a toilet paper roll.
It's just you become really hyper aware of your body and where you're placing your digits and everything.
Okay, so this like clawed hand is stabbing towards your stomach.
But I see it coming.
Yeah, you flash back in this moment to a moment on the floor of your factory where a spring snapped on one of your machines, and this metal piston of an arm jerked the wrong direction and shot out this stamping tool, and it shot at you, and you barely got out of the way, but it cracked 3 of your ribs. And you spent weeks in the hospital recovering from this terrible wound. And when you got out, you were like, you started practicing, started going to karate classes. You got real good at martial arts so that you'd be able to dodge in the future. Now roll for me to see if all of that time spent getting more nimble for your factory job. I'm trying to work with you.
We were so put together 20 minutes ago.
I know.
And then you guys were like, I'm gonna put a man's bow tie on her back to fix her dress, and I just
felt good at the time.
Charlie's just in the party watching all of these schemes
So
go
that's
wrong.
actually why I had my hand up. I had my hand up to be
okay.
like, okay, so who is with Felix? You left.
I left, but then had.
This is all happening while you're in the.
I was gonna say I wasn't sure how long that conversation was. So once it's over, I'm gonna head back to you.
We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Roll to see if you dodge this attack.
I'm gonna roll with passion.
Yeah, you are.
Let's do
This is
it.
very important.
I can't believe this. All right. Whew. Oh, that's.
That's
keep
cocked.
that.
That's cocked.
Do I roll it
No,
again?
Yep, you have to roll it again.
No.
It was not flat. It was on a arched piece of paper, and then you moved it flat.
All right. Well, it's still 1-6-1-1.
All right, you barely dodge out of the way. It scrapes you. Because you got 1 and 1, I'm going to say that you still take a vitality as it scrapes along your stomach. And you now have an open wound on you as you are bleeding onto your white shirt and this like light brown of your sort of dress. So it's pretty visible that you've now taken a wound.
All right.
You are in this bathroom. You have to figure out what to do next as you hear the scratching of those claws as they clang off of the bathroom doors. You get back into the party, and 2 of your friends are gone. Vera and Felix have disappeared off somewhere, but you do see Charlie sort of confusedly handing out champagne flutes, kind of looking around for people.
Where did everyone go?
I think they had some sort of scheme to talk to her, so they were gonna try.
Talk to
Names.
Delphine.
Belina. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that.
You keep trying to turn into Belle Delphine, and
I
I know you're trying to get there.
Why? I don't know. Okay. Okay. Well.
I think while that's going on, I don't know what's happening. We know that Oxford is in the secret room, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only people you haven't seen is Samantha and Nicole.
Yeah.
But all of the men are in the secret room.
Okay.
The secret room, the back room. It's not that secret. It's a door in the middle of a fucking ballroom.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I have a plan. I'm gonna go over to the bag that I stowed under the table. I actually left all of his things behind. This second bag is just all of my spy shit with a piece of his clothing over top.
It's a scholastic book fair spy kit.
Yeah.
1,000% yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna dig and I'm gonna spend my portfolio information and pull out a little black book and start looking for information and dirt that I have on Oxford Armstrong.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll a check
Okay.
with to see how successful you are at like quickly going through. You have years of information in that little book.
Okay.
So let's see how quickly you can pull it out.
Great. Cunning and intrigue.
Yeah.
Feel good.
Yeah.
All right, 5 dice. Let's do a passion.
You know what? Yeah.
I gotta get shit moving.
Do it.
All right.
Give me all the info.
All right. We have. Oh, that's
Oh.
bad.
Oh.
It's one brill and two
And
glooms.
Uh-oh.
Even if I
Shit.
spent my portfolio, I still fail.
Wait, you spent your portfolio?
Yeah, my
I'm
information.
so
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
I did not know this was a portfolio.
Yeah.
That's my bad. You absolutely succeed.
Okay.
You
Yeah, flip
flick through, and you get to a page. You quickly find information. It's not that you needed to open your book for this.
Mm-hmm.
You know this to be true.
Yeah.
But you're almost like committing yourself to the reality of it because you don't want it to be true, because you believe in the dignity of all people.
Yeah.
But you know that Oxford Armstrong, coming from the Valgrieve family, who are very friendly with their animals,
Yeah.
he is a man who views people who are not of the aristocracy basically as animals. Useful and worth treating fairly and well, but not of like true value.
And would I just have like an example of an instance where that was apparent?
The servants in the train car feels very much like an Oxford Armstrong move.
Okay.
And so you get you putting together the way in which the servants are being treated, and you know the fact that there is sort of a brothel area and whatnot feels very much like Oxford is somehow pulling, working with the Dara family to pull this party together.
Okay. Then I am going to pull a piece of stationery, and I am going to write, best find yourself on the right side of the vote with Arturo, or more people might find out about that first car.
Okay, interesting.
And then I'm going to fold it up. I'm going to grab my tray, have a single drink, place the note on the drink. I'm going to walk up to the bouncers and put on my butler face and say, yes, this drink was requested to be given to Mr. Oxford personally.
Okay. I'm gonna need a roll here.
Fuck it, I'm gonna spend my access.
Absolutely. Yeah. You burn that portfolio point, and one of the guys just kind of looks at the other one and is like, of course. And he gestures for you to go in.
Yeah. Great. And then I'm going to just walk up behind Oxford. And is it like a good time, or am I going to be like interrupting something at this moment?
As you enter this back room, you see there are 6 people present. Samantha Dar is there, and Claude Ostis Willows is there. They seem to be sitting at opposite head ends of this table. Closer to Claude's side, you see Casmus Belfine, who is looks a little bit harrowed. Honestly, this is the first time we've gotten a chance to look at his face, and he's the youngest person in the room by a lot, right? He's barely 21, and he just has this like faraway look in his eyes that is very troubled. And then on the other side, closer to Samantha, you see Oxford sitting straight backed and imposing, and on the opposite side of the table of them, sort of facing where you come in, you're seeing you have Nicole and Arturo, and they are both just almost having a debate in front of these 4 people, as they're starting to raise their voices at one another as they're discussing their plans for the future of this mine and this estate. And even in the short walk that you have to Oxford's side, as you walk around this table to hand him this drink, Samantha is currently the one, Nicole is speaking, and she's just saying, Arturo, look, I understand your concerns, and I understand the concerns of the Ostis Willows family. However, speed is of import here. We simply must expand the mine faster, or else the ruin will get to it eventually. It is better to get more metal out faster. And as you kind of get behind Oxford, she catches you're in the room. And there's just a moment of pause as she looks at you. Can we help you?
Oh, apologies. This drink was just ordered for Lord Armstrong, and I'm just delivering it. Excuse me. and I'm going to try and palm the note and the drink to him.
Great. Yeah.
So I guess that would be decorum intrigue.
Yeah.
Cool.
Don't you wait? Isn't etiquette your?
Yeah.
I feel like this is a moment
Okay, cool.
where passing a note within like a rich household is something that you are very good at.
Yeah. Cool.
And so this is a moment, the true folk ability of just passing skill checks that they would be very practiced at.
Yeah.
I feel like this is something that you and Felix have done so many times.
Sure.
That I'm not going to make you roll for it.
Cool.
As you just sort of slide this note and drink into his hand. And as when he has it, are you going to wait for him to read it, or are you?
No, I'm going to bow and to exit.
As you're leaving, Arturo, even before you've left the room, he doesn't seem to care about you as much as Samantha or Nicole clearly did. And he's saying, "Look, I appreciate the expediency that you would like to work with, but I am very concerned about the welfare of the people that you are willing to throw away to accomplish your goals." And you get out the room.
God damn, she really destroyed him in that debate. Oh, damn it.
You know Arturo's rather famous for his discomfort with public speaking.
Yeah.
And his stutter is well known. It's part of the reason why he is sort of a social outcast among his family of confident and expressive people, is that he is sort of this, very thoughtful and intelligent, but he's sort of looked down upon for the stutter and the mild-mannered way that he is. It is also what gives him the empathy to interact with true folk. And he has that reputation with true folk of being this kinder, more empathetic person because of his experience. And it's changed him and made him different from the other aristocracy. But you make it out of the room with your tray.
Okay, I guess I'll try and find people now.
You find, leaving your conversation with Sally.
Where is Felix?
Well, I believe they were looking around for her, and then I think I saw Vera go into a washroom with her.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to put up my hand for originally, is Felix, knowing the plan, would hopefully see the woman full sprint out of the bathroom and be like,
Oh, fair.
what the
Something
fuck
went
is going
wrong,
on there?
yeah.
Something is...
So
that
as you
is
guys
fair.
reconnect, you look over towards said bathroom, and you see Felix kind of waving his cane, looking directly at you, trying not to look too awkward, but just sort of like...
All right. Yeah. We will take that cue.
In the bathroom, you are...
So,
You have just been attacked. You're bleeding.
Yep.
And you're standing looking at this woman who is continuing to shift. Her like jaw is slowly just resting itself on her bosom as she is just transforming into this horrific being in front of you. And the thing you notice first is there is glee, genuine glee in her eyes as she gets to drop this form and the aristocracy and the lie of that and be herself. What are you doing next?
this is the craziest night I've ever had in a bathroom. I'm gonna pull out the tools and equipment I have, and as she's kind of reeling back and her body's transforming, but she's like pulling her knobbed, clubbed fingers back from just having slammed it into a wall.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, put on a suit, they said. Well, suits don't have pockets. And I'm gonna take out these sort of like scissors or shears. Have you seen the sort of scissors that they use in glass making, glass blowing?
absolutely.
They're like long and pointed and very well leveraged. I'm gonna take that and hold it out when she comes back in again.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're gonna try and attack her with that.
Yeah.
Okay, roll an attack for me.
If we kill someone, that's one less vote, right?
Yeah.
Your one tool.
Could I use portfolio for that? Am I still rolling in that case?
You can. I'm letting you have it with you and have had it this whole time and not brought it out.
Okay.
So I'm going to need you to roll for the attack because I don't think the portfolio means you have access to it. I don't think in this case it means that you're like You hit every
Proficient.
time.
Yeah. That's
Right, right, yeah.
All right.
So you need to choose how you're going to roll to hit her.
I think audacity, because I had the audacity to bring my
You certainly had some audacity.
my work tools and dressing like this to a fancy party.
Yeah.
And then
Do you have anything in fight?
I don't, but I have in physicality.
Sure. Yeah. If you
Yeah.
want to try and stab with shears, it's physically audacious. Stabbing with the shears. Let's go.
That should be the test for skill checks. Is like you have to say the 2 words out.
Yeah. You have to make it work. Yeah.
And if it works in a sentence, then it's good.
Give me a physically audacious scissor stab. That's the most lesbian attack I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, do I roll with passion here? You know what? Screw it.
Let's go!
No passion.
Oh my god!
Actually, maybe I should.
Let's go!
All right, so a passion roll. You're at 4 passion.
Yup.
Yes.
None of us have rolled a triumph yet, so no one's gotten to a race of passion.
I know.
That one's knocked. Do I do it again?
Yeah, the cock
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god, it's not looking good.
Oh no.
It's not looking good. Experience.
Wait, what happened?
4 ones and 2 6s.
And the reroll.
No! No way!
And the reroll was a 1.
Yeah.
The real other one, yeah.
You fumble with the scissors as you pull them out. Like
They open.
scratching yourself up the leg. And as
You're
you're
in danger, girl.
as you're fumbling with these scissors, you're gonna take a vitality, trying to as you scratch yourself, and as you pull the scissors out, she is going to see them and immediately bat them away with the back of her hand, and the scissors are gonna clatter across the bathroom floor away from you.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, you guys have all arrived at the bathroom, and you hear this clatter as the scissors go across the thing, and the music is drowning out, but you can just barely hear from inside this like like this like weird breathing. Vera's like whimpered moan at getting scratched twice in a quick
I'm
succession.
not having fun.
You hear that. What are the 3 of you doing?
I'm gonna try the door.
Yeah.
I can try to find someone to help. I can't fight. Look at the state of me.
Fight. It's a bathroom.
I'm
Listen
gonna.
to the noises.
I guess just try to
I've heard
break
a lot of
down
noises
the
of
door.
passion.
Like,
These
we
aren't
can't-
Yeah, try the door. It's definitely locked.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and break
I
it
should
down.
try.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you breaking down this door?
Okay. Loyalty, because someone
Great, yep, mhm.
who is sort of a new friend is in danger. And what would be a good thing to? I don't have any in physicality.
You could fight the door.
I could fight the door.
You can fight the door.
Um,
It is the greatest enemy in every TTRPG is just doors.
true. I guess
True.
that's really the only thing that works.
I doubt I would have. I don't have like lock picking tools, equipment, stuff. So
Okay,
I
so
mean,
I guess.
do you have to lockpick a bathroom door?
is it one of those things where you just stick a bobby pin in and
Sure, I will do. What did I say? Loyalty and fight,
Go for it.
and I'll spend a passion.
Is that your first passion?
Yes.
Oh my god, you're finally passionate.
I'm finally passionate. Someone's in danger. Okay, so this and this. All right. Come on. So that's one brill and 1 gloom.
All right, yeah, you throw your shoulder into this, and you hear cracking in the wood of this door, but you don't quite get through on the first time, and the door just kind of splinters a bit. Inside, after you have had your shears battered away, she is going to attack you, and this swipe of claws is coming at your face when suddenly the boof on the door distracts her just long enough that she doesn't manage to take her swipe at you. You have a moment to do something now. What are you doing?
I'm gonna pull out my hammer.
Maybe this one.
I can't believe we brought Bob the Builder to this fucking this fucking party.
Pull out my hammer.
All right,
Got a whole Minecraft inventory.
Yeah, right? Oh my god.
okay, mark off another portfolio. What are you doing with your hammer?
Could that be the same portfolio? Because it's just like the tool belt. Is that okay?
Yeah. You have a secret tool belt underneath your power suit somehow.
No, it's out in the open.
Fuck, that's
I guess the excuse that you're here to fix his cane if it breaks makes sense.
Oh,
How I dressed for all these events.
I thought you'd brought her and you were like, no, she's here in case the train needs to be fixed.
The story changes.
Yeah.
No, he definitely said that it was in case his cane starts acting up.
Kane starts acting up.
What are you doing with
Gotcha.
your hammer?
I did have to say train. I said both in the same sentence.
I'm gonna try to swing it in the soft sinewy part where I see
Great.
her jaw like dangling.
God.
Absolutely.
It's like close to the skull, right?
Yeah.
Audacity again.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is so funny. Physicality.
Great.
And I'm gonna roll with passion.
This is supposed to be like a serious, sad game, and this is the funniest thing I've ever been through.
Just fun.
It's great.
Failure's so funny.
Pulling tools out of her and just swinging them at this absolute monstrosity.
It's the way the dice fell.
Yeah.
All right, roll for me.
We're just rolling with it. It's fine. These.
Okay, so the next roll after this is an automatic.
I'm not rolling after
catastrophe.
this.
Well, you get 5 glooms on it, so it is basically guaranteed, unless you also got 5 brills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how are you gonna?
Huge.
All right.
Huge.
2 rolls.
Great.
Hey,
Okay.
Great.
thank God. Thank God.
Yeah.
You swing at this woman's face, and you crack her jaw with your hammer. And that moment of her like looking away towards the door to see what it was, and then the follow through of the hammer, her face gets just wrenched as she gets launched across the room a little bit by that. And the claw comes up to her face, and you can see she's like just like kneading the spot where you hit, and her own claws are driving into her flesh as her like dark Icarus blood starts pooling down the side of her face, and she just snaps her head at you. You guys hear this horrible scream, inhuman.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I guess just going for another try.
Yeah, I was gonna say I will then I'll also go for the door, like try and.
Great. You like clasp shoulders and run into it together. Roll a joint check for me here to see if you are able to use 2 body weights instead of 1 to get through this thing.
Okay, so we'll just be all of our dice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Cool.
I'm going to consider this like a joint check. This is not a thing in the game, but if you get 3 brills together, I'll say that it's a triumph.
Cool.
While they're trying to
Damn.
figure out what they're using, what are you doing?
I'll probably just use loyalty and fight.
Okay, so what my plan was to get security to go to the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah.
To like help break in.
100%.
But I also think that whilst Felix is walking toward, Felix is like, this is my fucking house. Like, if they find my house has the ruin... Actually, no, because I don't know that the ruin's happening in there. I just know that she's locked the door and she's got a temper. So
Yeah.
I do. I do.
Fair.
Yeah,
You know
Felix
what?
Well,
does.
you know, it could just be hate.
That's fair.
Vanillia's at it again.
Yeah, and then...
It could be a different kind of scissoring.
So,
Yeah. A different kind of smashing.
On seeing... I instead of going to a security, I'm going to go to the girl who ran
One
away.
success.
I'm going to try to, like, grab her. Why is it that you left my cousin?
Your friend, the engineer,
Mm.
ripped her dress.
Oh, dear.
She ripped her dress.
Yes, no,
I'm leaving the... I'm going home before she leaves that bathroom.
Yes, very good.
She's going to be on a warpath.
Absolutely. They're like hoping that some like a security is nearby. Is like, hi, can we check on my darling cousin in the bathroom, please? There is a bit of a wardrobe malfunction. I don't want it to ruin the party. I'm gonna attempt a decorum express.
Okay.
To like, don't want it to ruin the party. The dress is ruined. Like, can we get someone to go help with that situation? Like, express that it's like, this is bad, and then decorum, like, it's the party. We're all here to have a good time.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm actually not going to use a passion because I have a slight inkling that I'm going to need passion later. That is 1 Brill, 1 Gloom.
Great. You watch it. These two security guys kind of look at you. When you say there's a fashion emergency, there's definitely a moment of them both being like, "How are we supposed to help with that?" And so you like almost doesn't succeed. But then they look at the concern in this young girl's face standing next to you, and they immediately are like, "Something more is going on here," because that woman looks like death has like risen out of a grave.
Yeah.
And so they kind of just nod at you awkwardly and start walking, not hurriedly towards the bathroom, but they are definitely headed in that direction.
Curious, just to be like,
Yeah.
well, what could be so bad that they're asking for security after a light thing?
Yeah. All right.
'cause also
What happened with this
doesn't
roll?
know.
We got 3 triumphs
Yeah.
between the two of us.
Three brills.
brills.
You get a full triumph. You two smash through this door, and the security guards you spoke to see this, and they start pushing through the party a lot faster now as they watch a man and a woman just go shoulder first into a bathroom, into the women's bathroom here. The first thing that you two see is staring daggers at our friend Vera here. A monstrous woman with spindly shoulder blades that will reach out into these angular, broken-looking arms with long, clawed hands at the tips of them, and a jaw that is opened wide enough that you could fit an entire head in it, and this rictus grin of, like, ripped sinew coming up the sides of the face, and these bloodshot eyes just filled with anger, and Vera's standing there with a hammer, just sort of like...
So.
and just cut across her side. She's bleeding. This thing is about to go and lunge at Vera again. And so I need you to do a resist on this attack.
Oh, okay. How do I do that? Is it just a skill?
You get to choose a skill, yeah, and then you just get to roll that against the resist.
Has to be physicality again.
Go for it.
All right. It's a 1.
You both land on the ground on top of this broken door as you watch this right claw come swiping across Vera's face as the claw rakes through her eye and up, cutting through her eyebrow. As Vera collapses to the ground, you're going to take 3 vitality.
I'm out.
As you watch, this claw rakes across Vera's face, crumpling her to the ground as blood starts to pool out of her now empty eye socket as her eyeball just sits on the fingernail of this demonic entity. As you two are on the ground just looking up at her.
The door was wood
Yep,
and it splintered.
yep.
That I'm going to grab a stake
Great. Yeah, absolutely.
and just like leap to my feet and like back out, like back towards the wall.
Absolutely. Could I just is standing there holding a stake staring at this thing? What are you doing?
Oh God. Is this the moment when I do the thing that I was gonna do on the train? Maybe. Okay. I'm gonna spend my tools and equipment portfolio and click my heels and have a blade come out of my shoe.
Yes. You have a secret shoe blade.
Yeah. And then I'm just gonna try and high kick this woman in the jaw.
Great.
With my blade.
Absolutely. She's taking some damage.
Yeah.
So she's not at full health.
Yeah. Oh,
I need you
baby.
to roll for this attack.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do. Okay, this is spy shit. So I'm gonna do cunning and intrigue.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Go for it.
All right.
As you
All right.
press down hard on your heel, you hear this snicked as this little blade comes out, X-23 style.
Yeah. All right.
Roll for me.
Yeah, and with passion, I'm so scared because that happened. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 brills, no glooms.
You are shocked. Shocked.
Yeah.
As your foot comes flying up in the air, higher than you thought that you could kick.
Yeah.
As the knife at the tip of your shoe goes up, and this woman, as she hears you step into the kick, turns towards you. This giant mouth open as it's extended down, leaving this perfect pathway for your foot to go up into her mouth as your small shoe knife connects with the roof of her mouth, and your knife slithers itself up into her brain. And you watch her seething anger turn to shock. And then one eye just sort of starts to slide to the left. And then her whole body begins to follow it as your foot is still connected and you start to fall with her. Your body weight drags her to the ground as you fall on your back, bringing this husk of a body with you as your shoe knife has killed this woman.
When you said shoe knife, I was literally picturing Blades of Glory, where the like ice skate just like.
So really trying to have a cool moment there. Thank you for undercutting that. Security enters the bathroom to see an insane
in this woman's mouth.
situation. Vera dead on the ground. Her eyeball on this flesh eater's finger. The flesh eater dead. Its head on your foot. There is just confusion from these two men. One of whom tries to like close the door back, but it's like broken in half down the middle.
Yeah.
And so like half of the door closes, and then he kind of like puts his body in front of the other half, standing there just sort of trying to. But neither of them have said anything. They're just standing over you. There's Kodai is just standing against the wall, this wooden stake up in her hand. What are you doing?
I pull my foot out of this creature's mouth. And I think, like, I'm so shocked by this person who I really liked, but just met, but really liked, is dead. But I'm also, like, very mission-oriented with adrenaline right now. And I look to you and I nod, and
You see, Felix has just kind of, like, gotten over and is poking his head over the...
Oh, fuck.
And I'm going to use my portfolio of my title.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, listen, I was sent to infiltrate this party by the Glove and Key. There was some goings on that there was going to be some ruin here. But more importantly, there's a whole lot of ruin that's going to happen if that man does not go and take this woman's spot in that vote that's going to happen.
I don't know what vote. Sure. What?
I'm just saying we got to clean this up and he's got to go do a thing.
Okay. You tell us, man. What is
Nobody
that?
out there can see that this happened.
Okay.
This,
yeah,
this is a flesh eater, by the way. Have you seen one? And I just pick up its head.
Oh, what?
Yeah, pretty terrifying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so. Yeah.
Yeah. So we gotta clean it up and get it out the servant's entrance before anyone else there. Fine. So go find me a rug. Go find me something, a blanket, a towel, anything.
Yeah, sure. Yes, sir. One of them like salute. He's like just like out of instinct, just like yeah. One of them stands in front of the door.
Thinks that all like aristocrats can do this.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Fashion faux pas happens, and they're gonna be like,
Something happened with the dress. Suddenly, the woman's a monster. I don't know what
they think it's
step
a code
three prophet.
word.
I don't know.
Look, it brings out the worst in all of us, you know.
All right. So, your assistant has sort of given you a job to do.
Well, Felix had the same idea, and then that was like the turn, and then Felix is like goes to the back room,
Correct.
knowing where this thing is. Two people. There are guards there, right? There
Yeah.
are two people posted outside.
I think that the two of them are aware enough of you and your station that they kind of usher you inside.
Good. That saves me a portfolio. I go inside to the debate. Now, are there like? She was the only one not in the room, right?
She was
there
the
is
only one.
one empty chair.
There are multiple chairs. It's a long table, but the two camps are on either sides of this room. There's Samantha and Nicole on one side with Oxford, and then the other side is the Ostis Willows side with Claude, Casmus, and Arturo. I put too many names into this thing.
That's politics, baby.
Politics. Claude is the first one to. Yes. Hi.
Hello.
Felix. I had heard you died.
Clearly untrue. However, I will say, Benelia could not make it. I am taking this vote in her stead.
I saw her on the train. Sure.
It seems that this
Odd.
little, this project of yours,
Yes.
gestures through, has more wrong with it than we thought. I understand the ideals and dreams of yours, young Nicole. That is the other side. Is to dig heavily for fear, dig heavily and waste a lot of time and lives.
They wouldn't be wasted.
Okay,
Felix.
I'm speaking. Thank you. Unfortunately, it seems that the ruin has already breached this mine of yours. My cousin, just in the bathroom at this very party, has became fully indoctrinated by it, attacking and killing one of my entourage. She now lies dead in the bathroom. Therefore, speed and efficiency is unfortunately not what we can or should work with. This is a project that requires slow movements, safety of the people, because we do not want more face-stealing, or albeit people who can hide the ruin in them.
I couldn't agree more. Claude says, Casmus and I visited the mine. The mine seems to be relatively safe. It was the estate that was attacked. The mine seems to be clean, as far as we can tell. But a flesh eater did attack the house.
Okay. Very well. Regardless, we at this point of where we are, our houses have shared a lot of blood. We need to act with caution, for fear of more blood being lost, not from ours, but from true folk. These true folk, if we push them too hard, will turn on us, as they have before, and more of us will go. Clearly, our numbers are already weakened and at fear of full loss. It is clear who I vote for. I am speaking to those who are possibly undecided or believe Nicole to be the right course of action, which I think is truly ridiculous. I apologize for taking up time. I will take my seat.
No, I appreciate you. It does seem, Samantha, as he looks across at the woman, Mrs. Claude, it does seem that the houses stand opposed to you. In Oxford, hearing what Felix has said, surely you too. I know you care for your servants. I know you care for the people we send into the mines. Surely you too stand with their care and protection in this endeavor. Arturo's path forward is the best. Yes, he is of my family, and yes, it would continue our ownership of this source of metal. But we must take care in the people that we use, so that we continue to have them to use. Don't you agree? And you know this isn't how Claude thinks about people. He's very interested in experimentation. But this is a man who knows the man he's talking to. Using language that he knows will appeal to him. And Oxford doesn't do much, but he just sort of shifts his chair and nods. Samantha doesn't say anything at all, but pushes back, gives a withering glare to Nicole. Walks out of the room. For the rest of you, the rest of this night is spent cleaning the body and surreptitiously removing Vera and Vanilla from the hall. You succeeded in your goal for the evening. And with the help of security and those large black curtains that were used to hide the servants' entrance, you were able to cover up what happened and escape into the night, going your separate ways. The last person standing is Charlie. And in that little black book, a couple more secrets go, and you feel this itch at your ankle. You bend down, and you kind of pull your pant up, and you scratch at it. When you pull your hand back, it's almost like there's a bit of a shadow that just, this bit of smoke that flares off your fingertip for a second. Felix catches up with you, and it's the two of you sort of standing at this entrance. What's the last thing you two say to each other before the end of the night?
I look to him, and I open my jacket and pull out his cigarette case and light 2 cigarettes, hand him one, and I pull my leg up and show the now apparent ruin on my leg and said, "Hell of a way to go."
You are, from now on, relieved of service.
Thank God I could use a vacation.
We won't be seeing each other again. I do not believe I have longer than a fortnight. But even with the loss, there's some good and power given back to the people who deserve it. Although after my passing, which will probably be sooner rather than later, I will write you in as my immediate heir, not being able to have one myself. Enjoy it whilst you can. I'll give you a small list of the places to buy the good, weird things. You're a good man, and a good helper for these years.
Well, under that bravado, so are you.
Well, it need not be forgiven, just that it's fixed.
One question. How the hell did we get out of here?
Train? I think. Come on, this time let's just walk on it. I don't want to be jumping back on a train again.
The night passes into infamy. It's the night that Arturo Slim Talk took over the estate in the north of the clean mine. Nothing too memorable for those who weren't there. But 6 months later, in that grand ballroom underneath the Grand Interchange in Grandhurst, there's tapping on the wall. That tapping becomes these booms as the cinder blocks collapse in on themselves. And walking into the room is Sally, holding this giant hammer, with a group of men and women, all wearing this sort of red. And the last person to enter is their leader. as Kodai leads these people in to excavate the silokinetic machine.
Mm-hmm.
How would you like to end our little evening?
She has her mask on, and she's the only one that has it. But she's very clearly directing those around her. But not from a distance. She is there, and she's encouraging and with reverent joy. Like, this is going to change our lives. This piece right here that was left behind, I know that it is going to answer so many questions. I know that the royals didn't abandon us. We just have to have the faith to decode what messages they left behind. And that's going to be a piece of it. This is a day of celebration. And there's this air of not like sometimes when people are like maybe doing things that they shouldn't or sneaking around, it feels very tight and cautious, but this has an air of freedom and like almost joy, but like most importantly a little bit of hope.
The only twinge against that you feel as you break down this wall and are slowly excavating this hole larger and larger to try and fit this giant machine and sneak it out into the train tunnel somehow. You look over at that bathroom where that fight happened 6 months ago. And for a brief moment, you're certain you see Vera standing there, just looking at you. This blue mist that slowly fades away.
I pull down the mask to just show my eyes. I turn away from the people around me so that they can't see. But just in case Vera can, before I pull it back up.
And I think that's where we're gonna end tonight. That was wild. I did not know how that was gonna go.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
I just started doing shit.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
The only thing I wrote was Lady Benelia Galdalane, 40s, cougar, flesh eater. That was my description of the character.
nice. Love it. That,
God.
wow, that was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much to everyone who joined us for our brilliant Revel, and thank you to the Our Brilliant Ruin team over at Studio Hermitage for having us. I am Nerdy Nightly.
I am Claris Polaris.
We are the owners and operators and hosts and whatever of the Roleplay Relay, a channel that you can enjoy if you want to or not if you don't. That's up to you. Live your life. Be happy. We are
You're an
not
adult.
living in an apocalypse, and so I want you to be doing everything you can to be kind to the people around you. And I want to be kind to the people who joined us on this adventure and made this possible. Let's go around.
I've never been first before. Hello, beautiful, wonderful people. Hi, how's it all going? My name is Robin, Captain Krill on all things. On Saturdays, for the next little bit at least, we I'm on Roleplay Relay playing Teller or Storyteller in our Dragonlance Dungeons and Dragons show.
Yeah.
I am also on Unprepared Casters this current season. I also GM a show called The Adamless, as well as a million other things. Go follow me on Twitter. It's easier that way.
Hey everyone, I'm Fariha. Sup, this is how I greet people when I'm not also being, pinned against a wall by a flesh eater.
I'm sorry you
Is that
died.
a good or a bad
It's
thing?
good. That's good. I'm consistent. But I do a bunch of actual plays. I'm a full-time streamer on Twitch, and I'm also really active on Twitter and Instagram, doing a bunch of fitness stuff and some voiceover stuff. So, yeah, check me out there. Thank you so much
Best
for having us on.
Pull-ups in the business.
Yeah.
And hello, I'm just Dan Myers-Chapman. I'm a queer indigenous actor, singer, and all-around massive tabletop nerd. So yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at just Dan Myers-Chapman for all the nerdy shit I get up to.
I think that this is the first time. Sorry, this is not related, but since you've gotten married.
I know.
Oh.
I've never heard you
yeah.
introduce yourself by your married name. That's so
Yeah.
cool. Congratulations.
That was a beautiful moment.
Clarus didn't take my last name.
I'm sorry, I don't want it.
To be fair, like I mainly said yes because it has a nice ring to it.
That's right.
Oh no, it's sounds great. Nailed it.
Thank you so much, everybody. This has been so fun. I know that Hermitage is going to say this over and over again today, but this video will also eventually live on the Roleplay Relay independent of that. So I just want to say, if you enjoyed any element of the game that we played tonight, some of it I made up, but most of it comes from their system. It is free. That's right. The book isn't free if you want to buy it. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Captain Krail over there says it's the best art direction he's ever seen in a TTRPG.
Yes.
But this game is free PDF on Drive-Thru RPG. So go play it. It's really fun. The world is incredibly rich. And we didn't even get into the estate side of it, which is more long-term campaign stuff. But there are so many rich systems that we didn't even have time for tonight. I highly recommend you play the game. It's a really, really good time. And we're grateful to Studio Hermitage for having us all be a part of their brilliant Revel, their anniversary. Congratulations, you guys. This is a really amazing thing. And Clarus, is there any final thoughts that you want to throw into the video?
No, that's kind of everything. This was a blast. Thank you for having us. Thank you guys for all, rolling some dice together and killing some flesh eaters.
Final thing. If you're watching the Our Brilliant Revel Day, this is not the whole thing. There is a stream coming, and then Stella Luna there's like a whole Q&A part, and then Stella Luna, incredible GM.
Stella Luna is amazing.
She's going to be GMing another one-shot later tonight on this channel, or if you're watching this on Roleplay Relay later when it airs there, go to Stella Luna's and check out her one-shot at that point, or go follow Studio Hermitage and watch it there. There's so many places that you can watch content.
We love that for us.
Isn't that exciting? Do something nerdy tonight, y'all.
Bye.
Bye now.